Can everybody hear me? I hope so. Ty, are you there?
Yes.
Dang it. Okay, darn. I mean, good, cool, awesome. Glad to have you with me, Ty.
All right, cool. I just heard your stream voice, so I'm like, wait. All right.
So chat, hopefully you guys can hear us. Should have the audio issues not present from last time. Otherwise I'm going to feel real stupid. Cool.
I do hear us, and I'm trying not to be loud because I hear you and me talking in the background.
Gotcha.
That's super quiet.
Okay. Well, that being said, welcome everybody to yet another Fix-It Friday. I believe number 4.
This is number 3.
Is it really number 3, Ty? Are you sure about that?
Yeah.
Are you absolutely really sure? Are you really sure about that? Are you sure? Because, let's see. Oh, let's 3 months ago we did Fix-It Friday number 3, Ty.
Oh, oops.
Looking right at our channel, bud.
Might have to change the,
Oh, I'm way ahead of you.
the Reddit.
Oh, Reddit. Smooth.
Did I number it?
You numbered it 3 on here, and I changed it to 4.
Yeah. Okay, I didn't number it on Reddit, so we're all good.
Cool.
I just called it the December one. Cool.
Okay. So Ty, did we have any messages on our Shantotocast inbox for decks?
No, everybody submitted through Fix-It Friday submissions.
Cool. So everybody was on Discord.
Thank you for doing so. We should probably start with Ralph, and then
Yeah, Ralph was way ahead of everybody else. So
yeah,
you definitely earned.
Been sitting there for like 2 months now.
So let me switch over here to this one. I think no. There we go. Okay, cool. So here we go. On FF decks. Which let me go to the Discord here and see which one. Okay. This one. Yes. Okay. So here we have Ralph's deck. Really? Hold on. Refresh. There we go. I'm signed in. Cool. Okay. So, Ty, you got a chance to look over these decks before I did. What would you say is the biggest glaring flaw in this deck at your first glance?
I remember when I took a look at it. I looked at it when it was originally posted. And there was just a couple cards that just kind of stood out to me because it is, I think, what Ralph's aiming for is a 4 monks deck. And there's nothing like glaring. It's just a lot of cards that I'm like, you probably want to run something else. It's a lot of like, yeah, that's a solid choice, but you might want to do something else with this.
Okay.
Because like Earth Water is pretty good. Monks are solid. It's just figuring out, you know. Oh, number one, I also think that this deck needs to be updated because I believe it's just up to Opus 11.
Let me
And we haven't
see here.
received a lot of good monk support in 12, but
Mhm.
might be worth it. Oh yeah,
Yeah, that's
I'm
fair.
immediately seeing some things I definitely want to change.
Yeah, so I so one of the so the backup lineup is always what I go to first. I mean, you know that's typically what I try to optimize the most.
Yeah.
Trying to think here what we want most. I actually normally I'm well, so you know I used to be very much for the anthems, and then I kind of fell off interest of them,
Yeah.
or for them. But I don't actually hate the N across here.
I'm not terribly against it either. I'm just wondering what better options there are. Because I correct myself. The one glaring thing to me is the 3 Arya 3s.
Yes, that is very
Um,
much. Well, there's two of them.
they're running. Oh, I accidentally clicked it. So, um, that's why this deck has 51 cards on my screen. Yeah, Arya 3 really stands out to me. I definitely think it's something that should just be cut entirely. Because I think Arya 3 is a decent card. I don't think it's great. I definitely don't think it's like one of the worst cards in the game, but at the same time, it's very niche. It's usually good for like a Swarm the deck or Swarm the field deck. And this deck can make big boys, but there will be times where you won't have a forward on board, especially when
Yeah,
you're setting up. You don't want a you do not want a 2-drop backup that can't activate unless you're already getting started.
right.
That's my first like just outright cut. Wait, no, Cecil's
Yeah,
fine.
I really the Aria is just rough. It's just too rough. Cecil is another one that I find difficult to justify.
Cecil in this deck. So I'm going to keep the Cecil in because I have a bigger idea for this deck. Because a big thing with the monks is obviously they're all big. They all can like boost themselves, and a lot of this deck is like trying to boost it. Um, and Cecil, I want to kind of change this into like a brawl deck, I suppose,
Mm-hmm.
and like this blue earth brawl deck that can just let things live. Minwoo is definitely a suggestion I'm going to make in a couple minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but right now I'm keeping in the Cecil. I might cut it later.
Yeah.
Right now I actually just looked up all the 2-drop water backups. Because once again, I don't mind Cecil. He breaks himself. He's a 2-drop backup, so he's on curve. He doesn't have any fancy effects, but there's also no name conflicts, and it also plays into Rydia, I believe. No forwards. Wait,
It
no
helps with
forward
Rosa.
characters.
Well, Rosa
Helps
finds
with the
it.
Rose.
Rosa finds it. And it's nice that it reduces damage by 2k. Um, and like that's nice to work with Amric.
Yeah,
And Larsa forward, but Larsa forward is trash.
yeah. I'm looking at the forward lineup for a second. Larsa's probably an early cut for me.
Like,
I don't know
at
how to
that
feel
point,
about
you just
Caesar
play
Seas though.
Minwu in the back row.
Yeah, yeah, I'm probably cut Larsa. Like this is just a quick preliminary look at the front,
Yeah.
the forward lineup.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Not feeling great about Kapal. Probably cutting Kapal. The Yang's fine. I might run another Yang just to get the special off more.
Yep.
The 2 Ursula is fine, and then 2 more of the other Ursula, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Because even though the other Ursula doesn't have a special, just being able to play a monk, I'd probably clean up the back row a little bit. Try to run some of the standard unit monks. Um,
Yeah, I mean, the backup monks can be kind of useful. And being able to search them using... What's his name? Mott. Mott.
yeah, yeah,
M-A-A-T. Being able to search with this beefy boy.
yeah. So there's, like I said before, there's a slight 4 theme because he's running the Rydias, he's running the summons to search off of Rydia, and while the complete like cash in for it isn't there yet,
Mm-hmm.
I like the idea of doing 4 because you're already running Rosa. You already have options of Yang and Ursula,
Yep.
as well as Porum. Like the thing is, there's a lot of 4 characters in Earth and Water that just kind of work
Yeah.
here. Oh, I just realized that there's a conflict with naming between the 2 Cecils. That's annoying.
Yep. So that's
But
another
at the
reason
same
I would
time, the
cut the
backup
backup
Cecil can
Cecil.
break it.
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
cut the backup Cecil at that point, and if you want that similar effect, you could run the backup Larsa that just
I
completely removes all damage, reduces it to 0.
I just put in 2-drop Porum from Opus 11.
Okay.
See, you have the conflict again of the 2-drop Porum, but I don't think the 2-drop Porum is as important. So the 2-drop backup Porum is you could discard a card to draw 1, and then if you discarded a category 4, you draw 2 instead. And you have a lot of targets in this deck. You've got Ursula, you've got Rydia. If you have your extra Cecil, you could put your Cecil. So there is things to drop for it. And even if you just get the normal effect, it's fine. But she
Mm-hmm.
has the same tap and break effect as Cecil.
Actually, it's not exactly the same. So Cecil is just a board-wide effect.
Yeah, yeah.
Forum is a single target effect.
Mhm.
So that's, I mean, it's less than preferable, and it doesn't deal with Weewa very well.
Yeah.
But I mean, outside of that context, like fire or lightning, or some of those more direct burny type decks, it'll do fine.
Yeah.
Playing against water of its own, then that's going to be an issue because water usually reduces and doesn't deal damage. But I mean, no card is perfect, right?
Yeah, exactly. Oh no, I was trying to see if the water Moogle produced Earth, and I was wrong. It
Nope. Yep.
produces fire.
Yep.
Just such a weird combination.
Yeah.
Um, so let's see. Going down, I don't know how to feel about Enacross. Like making things bigger is nice, but
Well, considering that all of the non-utility, so only the utility or the water forwards are there for what seems like utility.
yeah,
It seems like everything that's meant to stay is, for the most part, Earth. So buffing the Earth is great, especially with Sigurd on the field, because Sigurd reduces damage taken, and across gives that extra power, kind of keeps that threshold, a little bit wider for survivability. So I don't. That's part of the reason I like it. Also, particularly Amaric keeps him on the field longer, which he's one that I feel weird about because you can't really search him with anything. Like
yeah.
you don't. Star Sibyl's not a searcher for that. In
Yeah, because
fact,
I feel
Star
like the
Sybil
Amaric.
only
I think
ser.
the only reason why, yeah, it only is 11.
Yeah, Yeah, so what gets searched by Star Sybil here?
Uh,
I'm trying to
I'll get to
find
that in a
anything.
second, but Gabranth searches Amaric, and it could be potentially just so Gabranth doesn't miss. But at the same
That's
time,
fair.
like I'd rather run other 5-drops.
Yeah, there are no forwards in here that are category 11. So the Star Sibyl's current only function is to play a 6-drop for 1.
Oh, it's to search Graviton,
Oh, you're right. Okay.
which is not a
Which
great.
Graviton is, yeah, Graviton isn't an exactly powerful card. I think Graviton and Enacross should be, it's one or the other.
Yeah.
You either, because that's the other thing, like, yeah, there's 9 summons, but all these summons have similar function to the effect of the backup, which, yeah, the Brawl theme of, getting super buff and powerful, like having everything get, just massive for a turn, every turn. That's cool, but like if that summon gets interrupted or canceled, which is a very real possibility nowadays, I don't think Graviton is very reliable in that sense.
Yeah, I just outright cut the Graviton.
Yeah.
Because you mentioned Mott earlier, and now that I'm really looking at the deck, it doesn't have much of a Monk's theme, which is why I'm like kind of pulling back on it now.
Yeah. But the other thing
I'm
is it's
trying to
an
think.
11 card, so you can search it with Star Sybil.
Yes, yes.
That
I'm trying
helps a
to think
little
of
bit.
other good. Let me actually look at category 11 backups for Star Sybil, because even if Star Sybil just searches another category 11 backup, it's a 5-drop that leads you
Yeah.
into another backup. Obviously, Shintoto stands out.
Well, yeah.
There is not one named Minwoo. I need to get better at searching. All right. So obviously Shintoto is like an obvious answer, and I'm gonna throw in Shintoto because name of the podcast.
Yeah.
Um,
Aijudo is not a bad backup.
Jito's not a bad backup. Pururu isn't a bad backup.
I'm not super excited about Aparuru just because she's cheap toward the
Yeah.
end game. And yeah, she gets the character in the break zone back, which is cool. But she doesn't
Yeah,
break
because I like.
herself.
Yeah,
Like
she
she
doesn't
can't
break
cycle
herself,
out.
which is annoying.
What was that?
Yeah, I was agreeing with you. Like
Oh,
that
okay.
is annoying.
Dang right, you're agreeing.
Oh God, I have a really dumb. Oh no, this wouldn't work. Shamod P. Grosh
Oh, Shaman
card.
Pigosh.
Like
Yeah,
a card that came out and people weren't freaking out
I
about it, but there
remember
was
this
a lot
one
of
being
discussion.
Cactar's useless.
Yeah, of like, oh, it's anti-cactar, blah blah blah. Like, it was a lot of stuff that it's like, no, not anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot Joker is. Oh, I forgot how bad Joker is. I was like, oh, Joker is a card, oh, reduces something by 2k like damage. That's cool. Oh, it has to be something with Brave.
Yeah, that's only a small portion of the deck.
That
You know
is
what wouldn't be a bad ooh.
Yang.
You know what I like with
Ooh.
this? Hold the phone. There's the 2-drop Prish that searches a 9k.
That could work. I have my issues with that push only because it gives the opponent advantage too, and not a lot of people are running something that doesn't have 9k.
True,
But
that's
like,
fair.
but that's still not a bad target. That's far from a bad target. So I wish that they put push into Monk instead of Abhorrent One and Abhorrent Child. But because that would be some really good synergy here. I'm gonna tune into the podcast just so I can um, check chat.
Yeah,
Hello, all 5 of our watchers.
They can be happy with what they're getting, dang it. We work our asses off to provide for you, ungrateful little. Nah, what am I kidding? Who am I kidding? You guys keep us alive as a channel. Also,
Yes, that is the Fire Valifor deck. Just confirming.
Okay. Yeah, I also really feel weird about Suzuisa.
Yeah.
It's
God, I just want to jump all over this deck. Like, there's so many things that I'm like, wait, shit.
it's all just little things. That it is just there's a
Yeah.
lot of little things, and it's like I don't hate the summon lineup. I'm
Yeah.
actually very okay with the summon lineup. I would like to throw a couple water ones in there maybe. But that's a whole separate discussion. I also don't really like Gramps in the back row. I'm all over the
Yeah,
place. Like I don't know what this. I don't know
I
what to focus on.
I immediately cut Gramps.
Yeah.
My so right now my backup lineup right now is Lael, or two Laels, two Cecils, two Porums, one Enacross. I'm probably gonna put Porum up to 3 just so I have the category 4 for Rydia. One Enacross, two Minwu, one Banderon, two Star Sibyl, and one Shitoto. And I kind of want to play around with this a little bit more. Because I'm right now I'm looking through all of the um, I'm looking through all of the uh, category 11 backups,
Yeah.
and the options aren't great for Earth.
Hmm.
Like literally the best targets are really Aparuru and Vegito, but I'm gonna spread that into forward because it might even be worth running Comlin on in this deck if he's not running uh, dark or light.
Yeah.
Taking a quick look at forwards, or even if he really feels like it, instead of running 7-drop Shintoto, running 6-drop Shintoto for the brawl.
Well, the
But at
problem
the
with
same
that
time,
is
that
if you're
doesn't work with
running.
Minwu.
Well, so the forward Shantoto, the 6-drop forward Shantoto, the old one,
Yeah,
kind of suffers from any deck that reduces damage though in itself because then
yeah,
it deals less damage out.
yeah. It's definitely a build around, and um, doesn't really like that.
Yeah.
I oh no, oh god, I found a really bad decision.
Oh no, what?
Are you ready for this spicy ass tech?
I'm waiting for something stupid. Just say it.
3-drop Shintoto.
I'm sorry. One more time to make sure I heard that correctly.
3-drop Shintoto. If you edit the backup lineup, he's not running any 3-drops outside of Shintoto and Rydia and Mist Dragon. So you always plus off of her. like, like a reader, because the thing is, like, I
Guys, can we
feel
get
like
an
a
F
hardcore
in
fan.
the chat for this podcast? Because we're over. We're done.
I, I admit I have a soft spot for this card. Like, it's because number one, it's bad. It's probably one of, I don't want to say it's the worst L that we have because Jet is still a card, but like,
There's worse ones than that too. Don't try to be cheeky.
oh yeah, there's I'd argue Jet is like one of, wait, is Jet an L or is he an H? I forget.
He's an L. He's an L and he's holding an
Yeah,
L too.
out of, oh, I'm talking about Opus One Jet.
I know.
He is an L.
Pretty sure he's an L.
One sec, I'm enthralled. I must find out now.
Go for it.
Set special icon job power rarity. There it is. Legend.
4-drop Shadow Lord would give a good option to deal with the new aggro decks. Yeah, aggro is kind of relevant right now for sure. Bart's and
Yeah.
Shikari and would definitely be an 11. Yeah. I don't know how I feel about throwing wind in here just because splashing a third color. Yeah, you got the Shantoto. I mean Tyro
Yeah,
also
he
would
is an
help
L.
mitigate the color fixing necessity. Um
Yeah, Tyro is another suggestion I was gonna make down the line.
but like yeah, see, Shadow Lord also kind of just dicks yourself because it breaks all 2-drops, or is it your opponent's 2-drops?
It's all 2-drops, but you're only running Ursula.
Yeah.
Like
No, well,
you
you
don't
have
have
two.
that
You have
much
Porum.
ammo
Well,
for
you have
that.
Porum if you're running the Porum, but yeah, everything else is 3 or 4, I guess. That's fair.
Though to be fair, you want to kill that Porum. Because
Yeah,
imagine like,
that's fair. Actually, that's a good
so
point.
imagine you have the Porum out and you swing. The opponent doesn't block it because they don't want to kill your Porum. You Shadow Lord, break their forwards. You get and then you get a summon off of Porum.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, there's combo
Um,
potential there for sure.
which reminds
Um,
me, I do want to buff up the the summons in this deck too. Because
yeah,
I'm gonna just add.
I was gonna add some
Sorry.
water stuff just cause.
Yeah, because something that always makes me upset, and we talked about this in our group chat, is Rydia doesn't really have that many good targets. Like Rydia's only really good target in Earth at all
Mm-hmm.
is Titan and basically Exodus FFTA.
Yep.
Because even just looking at open or 1-drop summons across the board, 1 second, I'm searching it up right now. Like within these colors, which is water and earth, your real options are like poo poo. cockatrice, uh, Caholen,
I mean, if the
and that's
deck is
about it.
about making people buff and beefy, you could just go Heka and cut the expensive Titan. Or you could go Yojimbo instead of Titan.
I'd probably cut one of the Mist Dragons and then put in 2 Yojimbo and at least 1 Heka. Because I love Titan. Titan is one of my favorite summons in the game. I don't use it anymore, basically, because
Yeah.
a lot of the decks are a bit more streamlined for me.
Yep.
But part of the reason I want to put together a Brawl deck
Mm.
is because of Titan. I love this card. It's a fantastic combat trick. It's a wonderful EX. It is just such a value card, and I love it.
See, I'm also really tempted to say to throw in a Fenrir. Because
Fenrir is very viable right now.
like light and dark cards are relevant,
Yeah.
for sure. Thomas says you could fit Mist Dragon, or you could fit Kadaj if you cut some Mist Dragon stuff, which that's kind of fair. And also suggests is dark where you want to be for a tech card. Also fair. Just because of the popularity of it, like obviously other people are going to be expecting it. But I think in this day and age, everybody kind of knows to expect everything. That's just my take on it. It's kind of just like, okay, which light or dark card are you going to play? Because a lot of decks have them. And if your deck doesn't have it, then, you know, you have bigger problems. Or rather, the opponent has bigger problems. Being that there's a streamlined deck behind you or staring you down like the barrel of a gun.
Yeah, because he has a good point. Like, is a dark card really want to have the tech card, or is a dark slot really want to have where you want to have the tech card? God, I cannot talk today. But like a gentle reminder is Turbo Ice is that people were running Dark Lord or Shadow Lord. I forget which.
It's Shadow Lord.
People were running Shadow Lord just to out like Thaumaturge and Squalls. Because it was such a greedy play, and if you got it, your opponent was down 3 forwards.
Yep.
And with the Shikadis, Dark Lord's an option. It's searchable off of why am I looking at the wrong decks? Searchable off Star Sybil.
Yeah, Thomas said meant specifically Shadow Lord for the matchup seems iffy, which that's what I was kind of saying was like, yeah, you're teching against like 2 particular decks, but there's like 4 or 5 viable ones right now in like the quote unquote meta situation. For what meta we have during, you know, quarantine and all that.
Looking outside of the Shikaris, Waff is still kind of a deck. But he does have a point, because I can't think of a lot of other decks that are running 2-drops.
Yeah.
And like, mind you, the Shikaris are scary enough by themselves. But I don't know. I guess that kind of depends on the meta. Like, Shadow Lord is a suggestion I'd make, and it's definitely something that I feel is on the table. I just don't know how I feel about it, like, sticking around.
I'm just gonna straight up put in the description the maybe board.
Yeah.
And Shadow Lord is gonna be on there.
Because I definitely kind of want Kamladot in this deck. Even if it's just an option for Star Sybil. Because even putting Star Sybil up to 3 or keeping her at 2, cutting the 7-drop Toto and then putting in 3-drop Toto, just kind of for the meme, I guess. You know what? Fuck it. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put in 3-drop Shintoto for the meme. Like, if Rydia is the only whiff, if Rydia and Minwu are your only whiffs, I should probably cut Endercross too. And it's not terrible. However, now I really want to look at the category for characters to see if there's anything he's missing out on.
See, the only thing that concerns me about the 3-drop Shantoto is you're just never gonna get the break effect for the 6-drop. Like even if you're getting lucky. Well, it's a 4. No, that's fair. That's false because you're gonna have other. Yeah. Okay. No, you have backup.
The forward lineup, honestly, for that. Because like even if you don't get the break, having a 3-drop 7K that fetches you back either a summon or a character is still decent.
Yeah. I suppose.
I don't want to sound mean, but oh wow, we forgot about Luca. put Luca into the break zone, choose one backup of cost 3 or less the break zone, put it onto field. It's a 4 card, which I forgot about. I'm gonna put
Yeah,
it.
but it all it does is play a backup of 3 or less. So like that's cool. But which
Yeah.
ones would you want to target?
I'm because I still have Porum in the deck. Porum's a good card for it.
Yeah.
Because you break her, you play Luca, and then you can Luca to fetch back Porum to draw a card, or just to kind of cycle through your hand a little bit more.
So
Trying to
what are
think
your
of what
thoughts
other.
on Momodi for this deck? I put it in there just as a maybe, just because like, oh yeah, that exists. Let's talk about it.
I agree. It's a maybe for the deck.
Because like giving things brave is cool, but also we
Yeah.
got to consider that a lot of things in this deck will have brave by default. Like Rydia gives all category 4 stuff, brave. So you get Porum, Ursula, Yang, which already has brave if Ursula's out. You have Rosa and Cecil, so they'll get brave from Rydia. Like, do we really care about giving the rest of them brave? Gabranth will gain it through damage.
Mhm.
So, jeez, this card's $25 still. Holy crap!
Which card?
Gabranth.
Oh yeah. Oh, he's going up, baby.
I know.
I've been keeping an eye on his full arts. I'm gonna brag really quick. When Opus 9 dropped, I pulled 2 full art Gabranths, and someone wanted to trade me like $30 for one, and I was like, fuck that. And because I was just like, I don't know if I'm gonna run 2. I think this is kind of a one-off card, and I was wrong. It is a 2-off card. It is a very good 2-off card. It's an even better 3-off card. Um, especially in the decks that I want to run it in. So I held on to them, and now Earth Ice is that much closer to being max raritied, and I don't have to spend 90 on a full art.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep. There's your
that's
flex.
the thing that just always like has me go mad is like full art rents are like 90 now, which I'm still like, I don't want to say I'm molding, but it's just like wow. Let's see. Ooh, we could run we could run Izuyoi for the ninja deck.
We could end the stream right here.
We can. Let's see, because I also want to see what are the other expensive options for this deck. Like, what are the other high cost cards? Because I do really like Gabranth, but I'm wondering what Gabranth would be able to hit in this deck. Because once again, we have Aimeric, and I'm sure Water has some good options. There's no good options in 4 though, outside of potentially Iridia. But you wouldn't exactly want to run the 5-drop Iridia to play a Exodus for free.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts though on keeping? Well, okay, so I want to propose 3 other dark cards for the forwards.
Yeah.
So we already discussed the concept of Comlanot, right? That's just kind of an obvious option. And then yeah, I mean we're only showing my screen, but Thomas says that 5 Porums is greedy because I still haven't gotten rid of any of the forward Porums. I'm definitely
I cut mine only
yeah,
because there's not too many summons you want to recur in this deck. Because like having Titan
right.
Exodus and Titan is nice, but you're not going to exactly be spamming them.
That's fair.
It's not like Famford or Valifor where you're going to be constantly,
Yeah.
flipping through them.
No, for sure. Well, also don't forget you have I'm running Aijido, so getting them, playing them,
Yeah.
whether it's getting it back from break, 2 of them are from break zone, or playing one from hand, whatever.
All right. I decided I'm going for the memes and I'm throwing in Shintoto at 3.
Cool, go for it. But so anyway, so yeah, Commonot, that's an obvious option card. I'm also going to propose, hear me out, not a strong proposal, it's a light proposal for a dark card, the Emperor from Opus 2.
The Emperor from Opus 2, is that the one that plays another Emperor?
No, it's the one that
you're
shuts
talking
off,
about the-
it's the one that shuts off special and action abilities.
It's not a terrible idea.
I mean, I still run it in my Earth Water, which is super out of date.
Yeah.
But like, that card made a lot of people very mad.
Yeah, I see the value in it. I'm just.
And don't forget, it affects all cards on the opponent's field, not just forwards. So like backups can't use their break effects on themselves.
Yeah.
You know, it limits the opponent's options.
Yeah, because I'm trying to think of what that really hits, you know?
That's
Like,
that's fair. That's why I'm lightly proposing it, is because it's just like, well, what is relevant right now that this deals makes an issue to? Because a lot of things are
yeah,
triggered abilities. A lot of things are, you know, che-
ETBs.
some
Yeah.
sort of state checking or whatever. Um, so yeah, what would you say this actually affects? Like, what is it? Chat, feel free to chime in. Like, would this card make any decks right now, you know, worried in any way if you see it hit the field, or are you just gonna be like, oh, okay, cool, like, Ifrit, burn it, dead,
Uh,
moving on?
so let's look at like kind of what's meta right now. Because like looking at Windfire or Monofire or Earthfire, you're turning off Tyro, but that's most of what I can think of. You're turning off Tyro. BFA isn't affected by it. Shikaris aren't very affected by it. It doesn't affect the Infinite.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like I want that Emperor to have its time to shine again. I just don't know if now's the right time.
Yeah, no, I get you. I mean, that's kind of my point. Is like, well, it's an
Yeah,
option, but is it a useful option?
yeah,
Um,
yeah. Like it's, I don't know. Like it's, I want to put it in. I really want to put it in. And I just don't think now's the right time for it.
that's fair. That is fair. So cool. Well, we'll
It's still
cut that
tempting
one.
though.
Um, and then moving on. What about Kadaj? What do you think about Kadaj?
Kadaj. I think Kadaj is amazing.
Well, I mean, in this deck though, in this context, like, duh, it's a good
I,
card. It's stupid.
I think it's amazing. Like it's Kadaj. At the end of the day, it's Kadaj. Like Kadaj is just like a very universally good card.
Yep.
So it's just I'm like kind of sitting here like, why wouldn't you run Kadaj?
Mm-hmm.
Because even if your dark package is just Kamlanot and Kadaj, I'd kind of want to run a Chaos just to
Yeah, just in
have another
case.
target potentially.
Right.
Because that was something that I ran into in Earth Ice a lot, especially during Summoner's Cup. Is if I already searched, I was running Kadaj and Kamlanot. I was basically hoping to get Kamlanot search Kadaj. But that didn't always work out for me.
Mm-hmm.
So it might be worth it to run the like single chaos. I wish we had a dark Golbez to be able to search. But
Yeah, that's fair actually. Let's see. Daniel says too many autos and summons clear the 4-drop. Yeah, basically, that's kind of what I was saying. Like, it does shut off a couple cool things, but Ty also agreed. Like, yeah, ultimately it doesn't. It's not. Oh no, Emperor. Anyway, and then 3-drop Ifrit. Um,
yeah, here's 3-drop Ifrit. Here's 4-drop Ifrit. Here's 5-drop Ifrit. It's like, oh well, I'm gonna play Ritz and I'm gonna swing under it. Like,
Here's a Rama. Like, what? Yeah, whatever.
yeah,
Any love for the new Earth
like
White Mage in the back row? It doesn't specify your turn, so it could lead to some sweet plays. Okay,
I
Thomas.
was
Let me
actually
let me
going
take another look
to
at that one.
I was gonna stealth put that one in and wait for you to notice, but I'm running it
Uh,
at 1 right now. I'm probably gonna bump it up to 2 or 3 because I do think that's very good in this deck.
yeah, I mean, it's definitely a solid card. I don't hate it. I don't see anything against it.
Because you do get 4-drop. Number one, you're hitting the 4-drop Yang to get the Ursula, which is
Yeah.
nice. You're hitting Shintoto. You're hitting Gabranth. You're hitting Sidecard if you keep Sidecard in.
So Ty, real
Um,
quick though, what does your deck look like in terms of your color ratio?
right now, I am like 25% water. I'm switching this mostly to Earth. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
I have
try to
8
even
water
it out with
cards.
summons, but yeah, I think
Like,
I have
my
1, 2,
version
3,
just cuts the
4.
water.
'Cause I got 2 Pora, or I've got 3 Porums, 1 Cecil, 2 Minwus, and 2 Rosas, as well as the 1 Amric.
Yeah, I
I
have.
think
Go
I think
ahead.
I'm gonna put in some water summons to kind of even it out.
See, I was gonna do that, and I don't know what I want to put in this. Like, I don't know what water summons to put in.
I think Famfret's kind of a quick and easy one. Yeah, I'm gonna look at that in a second. Give me 1 minute. Oh, a card that I feel like people have largely forgotten about is Miner. Like, I think Miner's really good.
Miner's cool. I like the white mage a little better because it plays it like immediately,
Yeah.
and you don't have to pay for it. So you can leave the one card up, be like, oh, I can leave this up, and it's secretly a blocker, and
Yeah, I
then,
do really.
oops.
Yeah, I do really like this white mage.
Mhm.
So that's a 2 of right now in the deck. Because my only reasoning for Miner is you can Miner for white mage back, which is why I'm like, yo.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I'm also still running the 2-drop water Cecil, if only to feed the 5-drop Cecil special. And being able to Miner, get the backup Cecil, and sacrifice it to Cecil special.
But how
I
often
think
do you
is
want to deal
kind of
damage to yourself? Like, the consistency is nice to be able to have the option, but like, how often does one really want to use that rather than use it out of, like, I don't want to say desperation, but like, you're on your back foot and you kind of like, okay, well, if I deal the damage to myself and kill something here, maybe I'll be able to hold on.
it comes up. It's not incredibly often because I do have games. Even running just 2 or 3 Cecil and Earth Ice, I've had games where I'll do it for the ETB, where I'll Cecil enter, target something that's out of the range, and then special kill something and then kill the other thing because it's now in range. But at the
Yeah,
same
that's fair.
time, like, I'm trying to think of what else you would get with, because Miner can also grab Lael if you use it. It can grab Luca. It can grab Porum. You can also add back Star Symbols.
Yeah.
I'm gonna. I have another card I want to run by you, but let me go back to Miner for a second.
Okay. In the meantime, Daniel suggests the new Sildra could help search out early water cards. And I want to search that one up so I can be sure that I have the right thing in mind before. Yeah, so problem is so it searches 2 water characters. The 5 characters is useless. Or one of each with different cost. So like that's cool. And it does search characters, which is great.
Yeah, characters is what really stands out to me.
Yeah, so like getting a water backup and then a forward would be cool. And basically none of them share, the cost in my version at least. Problem is it's really only an early game card. Beyond that, you've got enough search going on. You've got enough field stuff going on. That it's cool. A search is not. I just don't know how much I like it early game. Or rather beyond the early game. But that aside, we'll return to that one. Thomas also suggests Larketius and Luminous Puma instead of the Miner.
Luminous Puma was another card I was thinking of.
Yeah, that's a solid
can definitely
suggestion.
work. Luminous Puma is just nuts.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point. I'm gonna cut the Miner. Because that puts me at 15 backups, but I can probably just buff up some of the numbers to make sure it works. Just wish, but I also want to throw Chaos in for Kalmanot.
So Luminous Puma and then Larketius. Yeah, Larketius. Let's see. Yeah, so you can get him back. Maybe. Like, so there's no FFCC search in the deck yet. Being able to search it off of the action ability is cool. Honestly, I'd feel okay running the Luminous Puma without the Lark.
Yeah, just Luminous Puma is a really good one of. We've seen it in WAF before. I think some people are running it in Fire, Earth, Fritz.
I've seen it in a lot of those versions, yeah.
Yeah, because you see it, you do it to get back Marsh.
Right.
All right, I think I finally have my backup lineup solid. Yeah, I think that's solid. I was gonna jokingly pitch, kind of jokingly, kind of not pitch, Tama, the 7-drop one, which lets you play a 7-drop or less from break. just for a target for Shintoto. But the thing is, I feel like that's a bit much.
That's a really cumbersome combo.
Yeah, because I feel like the main thing you're going to be using Shintoto for is to either fetch back a summon or a backup. Like she's just kind of a value card.
Mm-hmm.
And being able to break something is cool, but at the same time, when you're playing her on, this is going to be like kind of a fringe case, but playing her onto an empty board just to get a resource, and then hitting, a 6-drop is like, that's going to be a huge feel bad.
Yeah.
I also noticed that the curve of the deck is relatively low, at least the version that I'm looking at right now.
So my curve is 3.5. So like it averages out okay so far, but I still have tweaks that I want to make to kind of, whatever. Let's see. Thomas says I tend to want run and one in most Earth decks because they can infinitely recycle each other, which is cool.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. I just don't know how much this deck really cares. I mean, I'm not discounting the fact that that's awesome. Like infinitely recurring both each other back and forth. That's cool. That's great. And it's definitely proven effective in a lot of decks. But
Also,
go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say I hard went into this planning on building a brawl deck, and now that I'm like looking at it, I'm just straying farther and farther away from it. I'm just making like a value deck.
Yeah, more or less. I also don't know how much I like Amaric in this deck.
I cut him. I'm trying
like
to find another good another big water card, and the only one that comes up in my mind is Cloud of Darkness.
Does that work off of characters or forwards, or does it work off of water stuff? I forget.
If I remember correctly, it's just forwards. Because you used to run it in I was like, I'm just gonna go to it. Because people used to run it in Vice Kings.
Yeah.
Because playing it was basically
for each forward you control. Okay.
So it's not terrible. It's a target.
Yeah.
But how good of a target is it really? Like it's.
That's the thing is like, how often do you expect? This seems like a deck that is gonna have like 3 to 4 beefy cards at a time, and that's about it.
Yeah.
Because the curve is kind of high on the forwards. So.
Let's see.
Dark mode turned off.
Some of the big forwards. Oh god, there's a meme card. I'm tempted. I don't think it would work, but I'm tempted.
Bear with the class.
5-drop Strago from 12.
That's actually funny. Wait.
I don't think.
Oh, this Strago. Okay, yeah.
It's a meme. I'll like fully.
Dude, I actually kind of like it though.
Because using him to, like, just being able to bounce is a forward opponent controls. Yeah. Because being able to bounce. Like I'm trying to think, like what's the general range of forwards? It's usually 3, 4, or 5.
Yeah.
Sometimes it goes a little bit higher. The only thing that he can't really hit is like PFA. But you're running a decent amount of 5-drops in Cecil, Star Sybil, Tyro. Because he's character, right? It's not forward.
Yeah,
one
character.
So you have a lot. You have options. I just think it's a little too memey for this deck.
So
not.
What I like about it, you basically get anything for free in your forward lineup, or your backups. Honestly, I mean, you have the only thing we're missing in my version is I have a 6-drop forward, but you're missing a 6-drop backup. That's it. But anything else you want, you get for free. And say you play a Searcher, or you play something with a huge ETB. Oops, I played Cam, search Kadaj, or search Chaos. They're like, oh, okay, cool. I'm gonna play Gabranth. Search, Kadaj. Screw you. Like there's ETBs here, or even worse, like play Yang, get Ursula, make a 3-play combo. I think it actually is relevant, decent value. For a water card, also for sure. I'm actually kind of glad you suggested it. There was another
Yeah,
5-drop water forward that I was thinking of, and now I can't remember
you're
the
really
name for the
talking me
life
out
of me.
of the meme status. Like that is an actual viable choice.
I know.
Yeah.
um, where are you? Uh,
Yeah, you
um,
know what? Fuck it. To Strago. Strago's a fun card. Um,
oh, you know what's a backup? Dumb.
as just the value. Yeah, you got a good point. Just the value of playing Strago and then getting 2 forwards for 5 CP, or even just getting a backup for the 5 CP is nice.
Puma and
And
Miner helps makes sure Strago has targets. Yes, correct.
ooh, yes.
I am definitely, well, I'm running a Puma. Like I have a one-off Puma.
I'm
Um,
definitely gonna be throwing one in,
so yeah, for
or
sure.
maybe even 2.
I'm also thinking of Thornton.
Thornton, he's the searcher, the thing that searches anything.
He searches any one card when he enters the field.
Yeah.
And then when he goes to the break zone, you can draw a card. So if you have any way of killing him, you know, there's that.
Yeah.
Problem is
Yeah,
killing him.
that's yeah, you have no way of killing him, but searching something and he's an EX is nice.
Yeah.
The curve of my deck is still low. It's 3.2. 3.3 really. I want to throw in like water summon, so I'm gonna
I'm still debating whether I want Mott on the field.
I think I'm probably just not gonna put it in because my star symbol targets are um Shintoto. Uh, I think star symbol being able to search Shintoto and Kamlanad is enough. I
Because
remember
my
there was
Star Sybil
another
searches
looking card.
Cam and Aijido and the backup Shantoto that I'm running.
Also, wait.
So and then also no, it's a 14 monk. I'm running the 2-drop break itself monk in the back row that gives a forward 3K and brave.
Yeah.
Because the 3K buff is nice, but well, actually, you know what? No, you know what? Screw that card. I'd rather have the Titans, which we already have, as summons. I think Exodus. Yeah, Exodus also does the same thing for 1-drop.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't need to have that other backup. Which that puts me at 16 backups, so I need to fill a slot or 2 now.
I'm sitting at 17 backups, and I think with how kind of low the curve of this deck is, that's fine.
Mhm.
What summon do I want? I was thinking about Famfrit, but I don't think Famfrit is great. I wonder if it's worth it to just grab Poo Poo for Rydia. Is discard last card in hand, Rydia effect, search Poo Poo, play Poo Poo, draw 2.
Mhm. So here's a meme card idea. Bowser.
So that's a card that I'm always like that fucking close into putting into my decks. I'm always that close to putting it in because being able to steal a true 2-drop doesn't seem like a lot, but just the fact that it's a permanent steal,
Yeah,
like, not terrible.
yeah.
Ooh, another meme call would be 6-drop Sildra. Choose 2 forwards, bounce them. Is it an EX? No. Okay, never mind. I'm trying to find a water summon uh that doesn't clog Shintoto. Or isn't a dead card off Shintoto. Because right now I've got 3 cards in this deck outside, or 6. Yeah, I've got 6 cards in this deck that clog Shintoto currently. It's Shintoto, Rydia, and Minwu. Hmm.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna throw the miners in my back row to fill those 2 slots. Oh.
Or maybe even just 1-drop Famford FFTA, just to draw cards. So even just the 4-drop Sildra wasn't a terrible decision. To be able to Sildra to get Strago. I think I'm also running 1 Cloud of Darkness in this deck. I'm not sure how to feel about it.
You know what? I'll throw a Sildra in at this point. There's enough need to search, I think,
Uh,
for that. Plus, if you search a Batteron, you can be like, oh, okay, Sildra, now Batteron down, draw card,
Yeah. I do
do
have
whatever.
one other suggestion. I do think Remora is pretty decent.
Really?
Like, the question is, how often will you have a full hand in this deck? And that's
You
not going to be
won't.
super often. But
I
this
don't
deck
think
has
it's
a
gonna
lot
be
of
that
search. It
often.
has a lot of.
I think you're
There's a lot
gripping
of
summons,
cards.
and that's about it.
Yeah, like, because the thing is, a lot of cards in these deck kind of replace themselves. Shintoto replaces herself. Rosa replaces herself. Gabranth replaces herself. Kalmanot replaces herself. The only card that like negs you technically is Strago, because you have to play another card when you bounce something. But so you're always going to be sitting, I feel like, around that 6 range of cards in hand. So to be, or not 6, like 3-4.
Hmm.
So if you could play a Remora and then be able to draw a card and then, minus 2k, if you're at 4, that's minus 8, which isn't, nothing.
Hmm. So I think I'm about done with mine. I'm not 100% confident in it, just because there's so little water. I have 9 water cards after playing around.
I'm
Um,
up to 12.
Look at you, Ty. Fancy, Mr. I'm in double digits with the water.
Yeah, just let me brush that dirt off my shoulder really quick. I do really like the suggestions we got going.
Okay, Thomas also mentions I'd run Auser if it stole a
Category.
2-drop so thoroughly that I could add it to my collection afterwards.
Can you imagine if someone played like a super nice? Can you imagine if someone played full art Creel? Oh, Creel's another card to consider. Can you imagine if someone
yeah.
played full art Creel and you're like, "That's mine now"?
It's playground rules, man. Play for keeps. Except you don't
Permanently
even
mine.
get you don't even have to win to keep stuff.
Yeah, I want to put in Creel, but the thing is, I'm trying to keep this one kind of budget.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
well
think it really
actually
has to be super budget, but though at the same time, Creel is a Sildra target.
true. Wait, is it? Yeah, it is. It's
Yeah,
it's a yeah, it's
actually.
fine. It's Final Fantasy V. Also, with any water summons, the Category 11 White Mage backup becomes better. Searchable water backup.
Yeah, because the thing is, yeah, okay, yeah, I'm actually gonna mess with that. Where's Sildra? Sildra. And then I'm gonna throw in like 1 or 2 Creel. I think 1 should be fine.
Wait, which? Hold on. The Category 11 White Mage better. Searchable water backup. Which one?
Wait, what?
Which water White
Oh,
Mage?
the Category 11.
How's it going, Reese? Yep.
Mage.
Um. So right now we're working on what used to be a 50-50 water earth, and as you can see, it's not so much water anymore. It's a lot of earth. It's global warming. Lots of evaporation happened. Getting a little warmer around here.
Global warming. Oh my god. Global warming means that there's more water, idiot.
Joke.
Does it? Kind of.
Well, okay,
Sorry,
okay.
sorry.
Atmosphere
I'm having
erosion.
fun playing against
Atmosphere erosion. Okay, that's what happened with Mars. All right, the atmosphere eroded away. All the water evaporated into space. I had it backwards. I'm sorry, everybody. I failed you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna commit honorable Sudoku. I gotta carve a lot of squares into my chest. I'll be gone a while.
Watch out, the comedy police is coming for you.
Wee woo, wee woo.
Let's see. I think the next
Team Magma.
It's really good.
That's a good one. That's
I
solid.
I think the deck is kind of where I like it. I have some mixed feelings about it, but I feel like I was able to stay with the 4 theme. I want to say it's done.
Yeah,
I'm gonna put an apology in the description. Like we just annihilated this deck. Like I was able to keep some stuff. I kept in the 3 Cecils.
Yeah.
I kept in Gabranth. I kept in Rosa. I kept in Yang and Ursula, and the Rydia. And then in the backup lineup, Lael's still there. That's about it. Lael's still there.
Yeah.
And the start symbol. Forward lineups or
So
the summon lineups basically the same though.
yeah, so what I did is I kept a lot of the summons the same but cut them down. So I have 2 Titans, the 1 drop. I have 2 Exodus. I have the 1 Fenrir, 1 Mist Dragon because you never know.
Yeah.
And then I put in 2 Yojimbo and a Sildra. The Sildra's not EX, so
Yeah.
like, if it were EX, I'd definitely
Oh.
put it at 2.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot that the 1-drop Titan is an EX, but that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, I mean it doesn't. It's a grip card. It's not an EX card.
Yeah.
So but I put the 1 Luminous Puma. My backups, I have 1 Chaos, 2 Lael. I got the Porums. I kept an Enacross, 1 just in case. I put in 1 Minwu just in case. I got a couple minor. I got 2 Battaron, 2 Star Sybil, 2 Aijido, 2 Tyro, and 1 Shantoto. And then no, Sildra searches category 5.
Yeah, it searches Creel. Creel's category.
Yeah, no. So that's the thing. It's searching the water, not the 5s. Let me explain to chat. Or one of each, should we want to. Yeah, you threw Creel in there, which I mean, maybe. Let me take another look at that one and see if I really feel like throwing it in someone.
Because
yeah, actually, yeah.
It's 2 water characters or yeah, because that was the thing that tripped me up about Sildra. Every time I read it, I get this wrong. But it's 2 water characters or 2 category 5 characters or 1 of each with a different cost. So, well, I think is the 1 of each with a different cost affect water characters in category 5? I don't think it does. I think just for the 1 of each, it has to be different. But
so.
But the thing is, there's.
I mean, the category 5 card can be water.
Yeah.
You have to declare your targets and then be like, okay, I'm searching now.
Yeah.
So.
Rather, yeah, man. Yeah, I want to talk to you, Judge, about Sildra because I'm wondering just kind of how everything gets declared.
Yeah. And then my forwards, I have Ursula, Rydia, Yang, Rosa. I don't know if I feel like I care about Rosa. Because you can search Cecil with Tyro. And, like, Rosa's tap ability to protect Cecil is nice, but that's what we have Minwu and other stuff for.
Yeah, I'm keeping it in just for 3 drops or the 5-drop Cecil because I'm still running the 2-drop Cecil. So Rosa, as an early play, can search out to the 2-drop Cecil.
Yeah, so you get the backup. That's nice, I guess.
If
yeah.
you need it. And then late game you can search out the 5-drop Cecil. Like I feel like Rosa, if anything, is there for A, her EX, and B for being able to just feed Cecil his special.
Mm-hmm. Reese, yep, in chat suggests Creel into Kusith. I don't hate that.
Kusith isn't terrible in this deck either.
Yeah, the only downside is it doesn't play anything for free. I prefer if I'm gonna run the Creel, which I actually might. I would like the Sildra so I can search and get 2 things instead of 1.
Yeah.
Being able to do that would be nicer. It's just a slightly higher card advantage.
Because I think most of the time Sildra's going to be able to search you too. I think it's going to be kind of rare that she doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
But there is still the possibility.
Right.
Because I'm trying to think. So like, okay, let's say one sec. I should probably do a. I kind of want to do a test hand. I have to like submit it first, don't I?
Yeah.
You know what? I like this. I'll submit it for now and then run some test hands with it. Because I'm trying to think of like what you would. It all depends really on how early or late you get Sildra, I guess.
Right. Like Sildra's more useful early game, but you know, getting it late game wouldn't be the worst thing ever. You know, you might pitch it or whatever.
Yeah. It's like in a sample hand, I started White Mage, Rydia, Yang, Ursula, Star Sybil. So it's too early for Rydia, but I could pitch Rydia and maybe Star Sybil for White Mage. That lets me set up Ying later. I have Ying Ursula in hand, so I can save that for next turn, or I can play it right now and just have 2 forwards right out the gate. If I draw 2, I draw into Chaos and Luminous Puma. If I just draw 1, I draw into Luminous Puma, which is another pitch target for a White Mage. Star Sybil, and I can kind of curve into it. And then my next 2 draws are Titan and Yang. Those are 2 cards that I'm willing to toss because I could already play the Yang. I don't super need the special early game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Reese also asks about my one of and across. I've been considering cutting it this whole time. It was higher when the deck started. Who the submission had it at I think 2 or 3 of. So like it helps with Sigurd, which is cool. Otherwise, I mean, things are beefy, thick or chunky, however you want to put it. I like keeping it higher that way, especially with Minwoo on the field. But if they're both a one of, then yeah, I might. Well, the problem with that though is that if I cut that and put something else in, then it just keeps raising the. Well, you know what I could do. You know what? Here's what I'll do. I'll cut the N across for a backup Cecil, and that'll be that. We'll do the 1. We'll do that. Minfilia, yeah, I can get back, but the minor is a cheaper option in both the sense of cost and like value, cost, like money cost.
Minfilia is actually very good.
Yeah, I thought about that one for a while, but like my deck curve is already like 3.6 right now. Does not need to get any higher.
Because I'm running Tyro right now, but I honestly don't see a big reason for me to run Tyro. There's nothing that you're gonna find immediately.
I think it's nice Tyro for the big stuff and the color fixing.
Yeah,
it's not so much for the tap.
Chago.
It's not so much for the damage 5.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, I think this build's done.
So yeah, there's things I'm not so confident about in my version of this one, but I think we both presented enough options here that like it's okay. I bumped Gabranth up to 3 just to make sure you get the special off at some point.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, Reese, the 2K buff does win games, but like it's not as big a focus in this deck just because like there's other things that do the same thing, especially the summons and Sigurd reduces damage. You have stuff to play with here. So like, Rydia buffs and gives Brave, which is cool. So again, it's one of those things where it's just like it's cool, it's great. I will absolutely, I'm keeping Tyro here regardless. But it's not something where I'm just gonna be like, all right, you gotta slam this like turn 2, and then just sit on it. It is definitely a choose wisely to use it card.
Yeah, I agree.
So yeah, I'm iffy about this. I do really like your suggestion of the Kryl, and throwing that in. That one is from both chat and Ty a good option. I don't actually really know where to put that in mine though.
Yeah, I put just 1 in because the thing is you're running a lot of 1-drop summons, so to be able to Kryl and then pay 1 to get the 1-drop summon off is kind of nice. There's searches for Rydia, which is nice. And I don't think they're incredibly important, but it is still solid value.
Yeah.
One Titan over the other one, but
right. Like I don't know. I want to cut something and throw a 1 of in there. Like, do I cut 1 of Cecil because I still have 3 with the backup, or I don't know. Yeah. Like it'll lower the curve of the deck a little bit just by that hair.
It's like I'm gonna catch up on the live stream just so I can look at your build.
Yeah, I'm not 100% confident about this one, but like,
yeah,
I'd try it. I'd play it a little bit. Let's see how it goes.
Yeah. Yeah, take a peek at mine. 'Cause I'm pretty confident in it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think it's my issue with the deck is that it doesn't really have a game plan. It doesn't have a win con. It's more so just kind of like this value deck. If anything, it's just to outlast the opponent deck and like make sure that you're always getting decent trades.
I mean,
Because
you and I both know that works, though.
it does work. It does work. The issue is when someone comes at you with like this organized game plan. Like
Mm-hmm.
the deck isn't a toolbox. Like you don't have something that you could just fetch to answer
Yeah,
because we don't have a lot of just outright answers in the game yet.
right.
Um,
I mean, we have a lot,
and
but
yeah, and usually with like a value based deck, you want to have kind of a toolbox. But this is mostly a just like I have value. I'm building a board. That's it. Like I'm not going to be stopping everything that you do. I'm going to make sure that I do good trades. So that's fine. And I think the deck kind of works in that way. It's a very good value deck, but it's just
yeah. Reese
it
says
doesn't
that
have
it.
that like umph.
Yeah, Reese says it forces removal on her, which is nice.
Yeah. Oh, the new knocked. That's a
Knocked.
card I haven't thought about since
I actually
the set
haven't.
release.
um.
Knocked.
Oh yeah, here knocked. Natched. Okay, so Warrior of Darkness. It's all Warrior of Darkness synergy though,
Yeah.
which is cool, and that's awesome for other decks. But I don't think it fits in here because you have to run other Warriors of Darkness. So the other option then would be what's his name?
Glaive.
Glaive. Thank you. You have to run a Glaive, and basically Glaive then buffs knocked. So like, basically you're either building a Warriors of Darkness little package in here, or you don't really touch it.
Yeah.
Like I have mine, but it's a completely separate deck with a like 99% different build.
Oh, he's asking.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay. Sorry, misunderstood. I mean, yeah, absolutely. As a guy who loves Warriors of Darkness and plays it myself, in multiple different versions of the deck, I mean, sure, I'll take a look by all means. Send it to the Facebook page or throw it in the Discord. Discord link is, I think that's on our YouTube. If it's not on the YouTube, it's definitely on Facebook.
If it's not on the YouTube, I'm gonna throw it into the chat.
Okay, that's cool. You should be able to create an invite. You should be an admin.
I can.
You can?
Yeah, I just made a permanent one for our Twitter.
I mean, we have a
Our-
permanent one already.
Twitter. A permanent link. I mean.
Yeah, I know. We have a permanent one. It's on our Facebook.
Oh. Oh. Well, we've got multiple now.
I'll wipe that one and we'll replace it. Whatever.
Where is?
Yeah. So.
Sorry, I suck at Discord, so I'm just like fumbling around. There it is. Here's a one-day link to throw into the chat.
Cool. That works. So yeah. I think what I'm gonna do is cut one Cecil and throw in the Kryl.
Alright.
Kryl. Boop. Okay, cool. So curve is 3.56. That's okay. There's 10 water to 37 earth with 3 dark, being Chaos, Kadaj, and Cam. Just because that's a good combo. I would feel comfortable running it. I got the one Strago, and I have a Mott in there just to search the Ursula and Yang. I think it's worth having the search. Because like if you have a Yang and not an Ursula, or vice versa, kind of important to have them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not EX,
like,
but I mean,
they don't really function without each other.
Right. So it's best to have the option, and you can search Mott from Star Sybil. So being able to search.
Yeah.
That's good. So I'm gonna finalize this one with a million asterisks. So yeah, Ralph. I'm kind of sorry. I don't know what I know what to do, but I don't know what to do. Like I didn't want to nuke your deck, and I know Ty didn't want to nuke your deck and just start over. But I guess it kind of became like, well, if we're running this, then what about this? This is it just kind kind of snowballed. So here we are. Uh, yep, Reese, that's cool. Deck tech is about where that belongs. So yeah, I'm just gonna submit this with the vague 1-5, 1-4 ratio, or
Yeah.
1/5 water, or 1-4 water to earth ratio, whatever. And Ty, are we good moving on, or do you want to show off your version?
Yeah. Mine should be in our deck page.
Cool.
So feel free to click on it. I'll explain some
All right,
choices.
let's go. Go through your logic. I will leave this up, and I'll highlight
Right.
cards that you're talking about here.
All right. One sec. I have to click onto my deck again too. All right. So, starting with forwards, Ursula, kind of for the kind of heart of keeping Ursula and Yang together. It's kind of a lore thing because I was trying to mess around with the other Yangs. I was double checking them, but none of them really work out. Um, so keeping the Opus 3, Yang and Ursula is fine. One drop or one Creel, you're only running 9 summons, and it's cool to play other opponent stuff, but it's not a emphasis in this deck, I suppose. The 3 Shintoto is kind of for the meme. I actually want to see it work, and you're not running any other 3 drops in this deck outside of Shintoto, Rydia, and Minwu. So you have about a 90% chance, assuming that like every card is in your deck, of getting value, even if it's just a summon. And even though 9 summons isn't a lot, you're usually going to have one in break. Let's see. Rydia, I wanted to keep in. Search the 1-drops is okay. Being able to give your Opus 4 cards, or Opus 4 Category 4 a buff is okay. That's kind of like on the chopping block if he doesn't like it too much. But the thing is, there's really not much to replace it right now. The 2 Roses, just to be able to either fetch Cecil or back up Cecil early game and search forward Cecil late game, and also just feed his special. 1 Gabranth, because your main targets are Cecil, Comlanot, and Strago. That's good, but it's not. You don't desperately want to play the Gabranth to search. It's not like you're running Golbez. It's not like you're running like Sephiroth, where it's like basically your win con. Like you're just running. There's 3 cards in that forward lineup, 2 of which you can already search, and then a third one that's kind of a utility card, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
Kadaj, because it's Kadaj, really. Cecil for the synergies. Kamlanot, just so you have a Star Sybil target that's a forward. And then same with Strago. Or Strago isn't a Star Sybil target, but Strago is just a good card. Because you are running basically the range that you're going to see opponents play. Like
Mm-hmm.
you probably will be bouncing 4 or 5 drops. So to be able to bounce something of theirs and then play Cecil and kill something, bounce something of theirs and play Kadaj is like nuts. Summon lineup, I just put everything up to 2, and then I threw in a single Remora. But once again, I think Remora is just good. And you're already running a value deck. You're not going to be playing this deck without a lot of cards in hand. So, I don't know. I think that's an okay option. I'd love to get his feedback after he plays a couple rounds of this deck to see how it goes.
Yeah, I would love to revisit this one and be like, all right, what sucked? What did you constantly want to get rid of?
Yeah, because I definitely rethink the Ursula Yang. Maybe run monks in the backup lineup, and then switch that Ursula to the 4-drop Ursula. Switch over the other Yang.
Mm-hmm.
There's just kind of one sec. I know that there's another Yang. I think there's a 3-drop Yang or a 2-drop Yang. Yeah. Control monk or job monk other than Yang. He gains 2k in Brave. Yeah, that's not good. That is very not good. Wow. Yeah, all the Yangs kind of suck.
Yeah, they do. Like, I
Yeah,
think the
wow.
4-drop one here is probably the least sucky of all of them.
Yeah, like the thing is, the other 4-drop Yang is probably solid in a monk deck, and the 5-drop Yang, I know people run it in like big boy Earth decks or mono Earth, but it's still just like it's a tech card against ice, which isn't seeing a whole lot of play right now. And then for the backup lineups, oh, I accidentally put in 2 chaos. I am a dingus. 1 second. Wait, did I put in 2? Yeah,
Yes, you
I
did.
did put in 2.
They're here.
Yeah, I'm a dingus.
That's
I
okay. It was meant to
in
be
that
2
case-
Cecil, I know.
Yes. It was actually supposed to be. No, I got the 3 Lucas. I got 3 can't believe I did that. 1 second. Probably put it up to 3 white mage, honestly. Like, I think that white mage is solid.
Yeah.
Either the 3 white mage or 2 Cecil, really.
I would do the 2 Cecil just because you can keep specialing if you if you really, really want to. Like we talked
Yeah,
earlier, like
definitely.
I don't know if you really want to special all that often just because you're putting yourself closer. Like, again, the last point of damage that matters is the only one that matters. But like,
Yeah.
yeah, the thing is, you're gonna break him to do other stuff. So
Yeah.
you
So
know,
it's not that big of a deal. I don't know
yeah,
about he's just a water resource.
yeah,
And he's just a 4, or he's a category 4 for Rydia.
right.
Yeah, so I'd probably put the Cecil up to 2 in that case. And then just Luminous Puma for more value. Really, like it's like I said, kind of the theme of this deck is really value. Um, but I just don't feel super strong about it. Like it's just the deck doesn't feel like a powerhouse, and I feel like it can get really good value, and I feel like it will always have like 3-4 cards in hand.
Yep.
But I don't think it will. Like I don't think it could last a late game. Is my issue with it.
I think you'll get to late game. I just think late game is gonna be the tough part, where like your
Yeah,
opponent is gonna
that's
have the slightly more powerful cards and kind of get over you in certain ways.
yeah.
That being
'Cause if you,
said, I don't think there's much of a chance to win against, like there's stuff like, the Ritz Marsh combo where you're just gonna kind of have to deal with it, especially with the unblockable stuff.
yeah,
The
where
Shikaries
yeah,
are gonna
you're
be
really just gonna
real
be looking at
weird.
Ritz.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Because you're really going to be looking at these decks that they have this strong end game, and you're
Yep.
like, well, I can't really do anything about that.
Um, no, Reese, we have not tested this deck or our different variants of it. We never get a chance to do that just because we have, we're doing everything live, like right here.
Yeah.
And if you're talking about like other meta decks, yes, we've tested most of those.
Yeah.
Um,
At least I've tested most of them. Like
well, I mean,
I
I've
try to
been there
keep.
with you with testing, and I've played
Yeah.
other people's variants of them too.
Yeah.
So like, I
You've been the guinea pig for my testing of these decks.
hell yeah, man. I'm always the guinea pig. I love it. I like being on the
Yeah.
receiving end so I can understand the deck from the opponent's side better.
Yeah.
So
But yeah, so we do play meta, or at least I play meta. We play against meta. We talk about this in our group chats and stuff. Um, but at the same time, obviously, because we're in quarantine, we can't do too much. Though I am thinking, we don't have anybody in the FFTX team in our chat, but I am hard thinking about just donating to the Patreon just to be
I'd
able to get
same.
the beta for the online playing.
Yeah.
Because like number one, we could play. Number two, it'd be easy. Like I don't know, just to be able to keep playing, be able to test these decks against each other and stuff. Um, as maybe like a potential Fix-it-Friday follow up. We'll see. I am hard thinking about it. Quick shout outs to the FFX team for actually putting that together though. Like
Right?
that's still insane to me.
Well, I mean, at the Summoners Cup back in March? Yeah, March.
Yeah.
I met somebody, and I forgot your name by now. I'm sorry if you're listening. We were talking about how it would be to make Final Fantasy TCG in just like a game engine or like program it, and compared to a lot of other TCGs, it would be pretty easy.
Yeah.
So like,
Yeah. It
I
really
still
would be.
kind of want to do it just for the experience, but at the same time, I'm probably gonna have a lot less time to do that now with my new job starting up. So, yes, Reese, we are in fact in the USA.
Yep.
So
USA.
don't cheer for them.
Yeah, yeah.
We're
we
the
don't have
bad
much
guys.
Yeah, we haven't exactly. We're not exactly the greatest nation in the world right now. This is not a politics stream, but we're the USA could be a little bit better right now.
USA.
Yeah,
All
all right. Should
so
we move on to the next deck?
so I actually want to go to Juan's deck next because it
Okay.
won't take as long.
Yeah,
And then we
'cause
can
this
just
deck
focus on the
is-
Fire of Valifor.
Yeah.
So Purple vented seems sus behavior.
But meme. I love the meme name. I always love meme
I do
names.
appreciate the meme as well. So there's.
However,
Go ahead.
sorry. Oh, I was gonna say. However, the deck is interesting, but I'm having trouble finding anything to really dislike about it. I guess.
Same. I mean, we discussed this earlier.
Yeah.
There's very little about this deck that I actually think needs changing, other than like maybe ratios.
Yeah. Like, this
So
really feels like a finished deck. Really.
yeah, for the most part. Like, so the Phoenix is a good choice for a summon because, like, a bazillion 2-drops. Actually, let me
Yeah.
let me open a deck editor as opposed to just viewing. Oh, dang it! Refresh.
Like
There we go.
there's really like nothing in here that I'm like, oh, why is this here? Like, I think the closest to it is like the 5-drop Gilgamesh. And that's like it. 5-drop Gilgamesh, maybe 6-drop Ramza. Like,
Yeah, the 5-drop Gilgamesh has me feeling weird only because, like, yeah, you got a lot of cards, and yeah, you're gonna be able to pitch stuff a lot if you don't have backups. But like, so you don't have the Enkidu, I don't think, right? Yeah, there's no
no.
Enkidu here, so doing the search is not very useful. Um, Choosing a damaged forward isn't really that big a deal because you're not really swinging for damaging forwards. You're swinging to either just hit face a bunch, or you're swinging to get Golbez killed. Um,
Yeah.
so like I would cut the Gilgamesh and throw in either more 2-drops or a couple more summons.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, I don't really think. Yeah, Reese, I don't think Tilica is. Well, which Tilica? The one that cheapens things or the one that makes you able to discard light and dark? So Gilgamesh to break your own Golbez? I guess. Yeah, because you can break it. But the problem is you're breaking Gilgamesh to break it if it's not already damaged. And then otherwise you're paying 5 to break Golbez. You're basically dumping another play of Golbez or Gilgamesh to play, break Gilgamesh. And yeah, you get more forwards. So I can kind of see it, but I think there's backup options that do the break a damaged forward thing for way cheaper.
Yeah. So, one suggestion that I'm gonna make, and I'm probably gonna put in, and this is something I talked to E-Man about briefly, is the Prish you talked about earlier.
Yeah.
The one that could search
Search the
a
big one.
9. So you want to get Golbez like first turn every time, like as
Yep.
fast as possible. In that case, I also I've got some other suggestions I can make, but I do think Prish is really good, only because it just makes you get Golbez that much faster. And then on top of that, you can when she doesn't get her ATB if you play her off of Golbez, so you don't get to search another Golbez, but you're cutting that off from the opponent. And if she's on the board with, I think Luso, does Luso get? Yeah. Um, if she's on the board with Luso, she's a 9K. So if you don't have the target of Shadowlord or Creel, and you just need another big boy, like she's just 9K when she's played off of Golbez. She can search Golbez.
Mm-hmm.
And then it push really comes to shove, you could special her, because I just threw in 2.
So Thomas points out that we did overlook the second part of his statement. So you break the Gilgamesh and Golbez to regis them both back.
Oh yeah.
So like
Yeah.
that is good. I just think it's slow and or clunky depending on the situation.
I don't know, because that is a lot of mana, but at the same time, you're not exactly. It's a lot of mana, but it's not exactly bad. Because being able to regis both of them back is nuts. Like
Oh yeah, get them back
that
for
is really
free is
good.
crazy, or for 5.
Because to be fair, even if you just broke Golbez and got stuff,
Yeah.
like, because even just playing the Regis is value, but being able to get a Regis and a Gilgamesh back is really good. All right, cutting a Prish down to 1, and I'd probably cut Ramza down to 1 because I feel like if you don't take off, he's super clunky. And you're gonna be taking off in this deck, but if you can't, yeah, give me back that Gilgamesh. That was actually a really good idea. I'll
Like,
take
I
that
would
off.
cut the
That was
Gilgamesh. I don't know. Like, I wanna. I still think it's slow though. That's
I
my
don't know.
only
Like it's
issue.
yeah, I see where you're coming from, but I don't know. Like it's I think it's good enough.
The other thing is that I
But
don't like. So I also actually don't like the Alba here. Because you don't get the ETB. I mean, or okay, so or
yeah,
attacks actually. I left out a part of that. So okay, that's still cool. So you can get 3K, which is nice. Um,
because I think the general idea is that you Golbez, and your targets for Golbez are Luso, White Tiger Lassie, um, and then Shadow Lord, obviously, and then for your lightning you target Glauca.
mhm.
Glauca doesn't get his ETB, so they can't respond to it, which is really good. And then you play Alba for one, Alba effect, give her haste. So then you have one, two, you have at least two hasty attackers if you play Alba.
Let's see. Kefka makes a lot of sense since it's easy to swarm the board and it doesn't make you pay for Gilgamesh. Which Kefka?
Kafka is, I think that's the 4-drop.
Oh yeah, the 4-drop
Either
one. The problem is though that it's only useful for like once.
the 4-drop
um,
one or the 6-drop one, I guess.
I think the 4-drop EX. There is no 6-drop Kefka.
8-drop, sorry.
Yeah, 8-drop breaks, whatever. But like, I think the 4-drop EX one is cool.
The only issue is that Kafka's slow because it's when he attacks.
Yeah. So yeah, unless you can give it haste or something, which is cool. Reese says no, the 8-drop.
Yeah, because the idea with the 8-drop is that you play Golbez and like other small stuff,
Yeah.
and then you break them all for Kefka. And then Kefka gives you the value off of Golbez. Golbez gets all of his stuff, and then you could also just get rid of things that you're already swarming the board with. And then you and then you get back Golbez, another character, and then on top of that, you still have Kefka's ETB of being able to just break something or break a forward.
True. And Golbez doesn't say when Golbez breaks, it's break zone.
Yeah, it's one put into break zone, which is arguably, I think, like the thing that really makes him gross.
I think that's
Is like
pushing
there's
it though
so
for
many
the.
cards.
I think that though really does push it for the mana cost though. Because like,
Yeah.
okay, so you
Well,
dumped 6 to get Golbez out. Then you gotta dump a little bit more if you want the extra stuff out.
you get
Um,
Kefka for free. Well, yeah, you're right. Like the question is just how much do you really want? How often is your board big? I suppose. Like it's
it really seems like it's only gonna be big if Golbez dies, which is, I mean, granted, Golbez is gonna die, and then you're gonna do something to get it back, or you're gonna
yeah.
just then start swarming your 2-drops. But
Though that does help recur Golbez in a way where it's so you have Golbez dies, right?
yeah,
Let's say it dies off of Gilgamesh. So Golbez is dead, and then you get your 4 forwards, and then you Regis. You Regis, and you get back Gilgamesh and Golbez, and then you Kefka, sacking one of your 2-drops, preferably Porum, so you could search a backup. And then Regis and Golbez. So you lose those guys, but off of Golbez you get another 4 forwards.
yeah. So
Like it's the Kefka's definitely like a dream scenario,
yeah, well, that's what I'm
which is
saying.
why
Like,
I'm a
yeah,
little
I know you
fan of.
get because Reese says you get it for free if you kill the 3, which that's I mean yes,
Yeah,
you get the free 8-drop Kefka. So you're sacking 10, and then you sacrifice 10 CP worth of stuff because 6, 2, and 2. I'm assuming,
yeah,
and then okay, you get the 8-drop Kefka. Then Golbez effect, you get 4 more forwards, so you technically still come out dead even on that. and then you can do whatever to get Golbez back. So I mean, I'm cautiously interested. That is something that I will definitely keep in mind for it. I don't hate it. It just, I don't know. I feel skeptical. So give me a minute, I guess. Let me see here.
Mine's
What?
done. Like I literally I narrowed Ramza down to 1. I kept Gilgamesh at 2. I narrowed RNA down to 1.
Yeah,
which
RNA is
really
one that
good
I
late
don't really. I'm not enthusiastic about it in this deck.
Because my only issue with her is that your real targets for the damage 3 are Glauca and Alba, and those are pretty decent targets. It's just, I don't know.
Like damage 6, you get haste, which is awesome.
Yeah.
But that's like a desperate last ditch effort. So I don't know how to,
Though it can, very realistically, you could turn around the game.
Oh yeah, for sure. No, absolutely.
Oh yeah. Now I feel dumb. People have been pointing out Star Sybil is to play Regis for free.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. So drop Tyro, Star Sybil, swap that around. I also don't know how I feel about the Shantoto. Like, a board wipe is good, but how often are you going to be that far on the back foot that you need to play that?
I think it's just like a nightmare scenario in which you're just like, I just need to delay
Oh,
one
the
more turn
Luso.
until I
Yeah,
play.
that's right. Okay, so Luso gives you the OTK potentially. The unblockable shit. Or the burn, right, the burn.
Yeah.
How'd it get burned? How'd it get burned?
Let's see. Because I'm just wondering what you would cut for the Star Symbols in that case.
I
'Cause you definitely
like I said, I
want-
swapped the Tyro, so it's 1 Tyro, 3-star.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
The 3-drop Rydia backup has me a little.
It's just a search. I
I
assume Famfrit or Amaterasu.
I mean, yeah.
Famfrit if you have Golbez out just to be able to break him easy, and then Amaterasu because Amaterasu is gross.
Sure. Layla's good. Class 6 Moogle and 10th Moogle are good. Lightning and then water CP, so that's color fixing there. Tyro and Shantoto, I guess, are for the fire. Or Pitch Dottaluma, I guess.
I feel like for fire, it's mainly just there for it's an option off of Creel if you need it. Trying to think, it's an option off Creel. Yeah, Tyro and Shintoto make it.
Reese says they'd swap for fire, swap fire for ice, put in Shulk and Renoa, and then play Kryl.
I have mixed feelings about Shulk.
Yeah, the Shulk is weird because you don't get the ETB if you play off of that. Okay, come on, brain, do the typing in order.
Yeah.
Actually, you can't. So the backup Shulk, your opponent is dealt damage. Activate her.
I think he's talking about the 3-drop Shulk.
They're both 3-drops. There's a forward and a backup.
Oh yeah.
So you can play an ETB. You can play another card for free, and your opponent discards 1, which is cool.
Yeah. I think what he's pitching is that you use Shulk to play like Lusa for free, or just like any of the 2-drops for free, really, because you're not running a lot of ice.
Yeah.
The opponent discards 1, which is always nice.
Yeah.
And then you get a free forward that you don't have to pay for, and then on top of that just help kind of rounds out Luso. If a Golbez dies that same turn, that's just another body you have on board.
Yeah.
That's another 2 bodies you have on board, really. The only problem is there's not many ways to play it unless you want to run Chaos.
Yeah, well, that's what Reese is saying, is just cut the fire and put in ice. Problem there, though, is that then you lose the Amaterasu, which very much can save your ass.
You lose Amaterasu and Dottaluma is a...
Yeah, Dottaluma's a really dumb target, just like the Shadow Lord. It's like, oh, 2-drop for 8, 9k.
Yeah.
You
And
can't
it's
see my
just-
face, but
yeah.
guys.
But in a way, I understand. Like ice. Yeah, this is rough. The thing, if Thaumaturge was still in the game, I'd 100% be.
Oh
Well,
well,
not
duh.
Thaumaturge.
Nobody would be nobody would be discounting Thaumaturge. Felon lock back up, but I don't know how to fit that. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, to keep your forwards, you got to keep the backups thin.
I think I'm good. I want to say I'm good. I think my only other question is, would you run more Regis? 'Cause Regis is really good, but at the same time, I don't think it's necessary to run 3.
So there's a Minfilia in the back row, but I actually kind of want to throw in a 4-drop White Mage.
I don't know. I don't
Because you
like
can
your
put, so you
targets.
can, because think what you can play off of it, right? So you can drop in anything except for Gilgamesh, Regis, Golbez, and Ramza. Like, you want a Gabranth?
No,
Okay, play it. Like, you want Arnea? Play it.
White
You want
Mage.
Kadaj? Play it. Or it's a
White
backup.
Mage is Earth.
Oh, it's specifically
Earth
Earth.
forward.
Okay, Earth forward. Okay, cool. So you get Prish, you get Kryl, you get Shadowlord, and you get Gabranth.
Well, you don't want Shadowlord. Well, Shadowlord's ETB isn't terrible, but even then, I don't think that's too great. Like, I like Minfilla Olympia. She technically costs 2, and you're always going to be able to fetch 2 back. It lets you help kind of clean up your opening hand too if you start with it.
So Juan, at least I think that's Juan, steps in and says, 2-drop Gilgamesh instead of the 2-drop Alba. So it's okay.
Just for me, I don't mind the 2-drop Alba. I think the 2-drop Alba.
Yeah, I think it's better because the 2-drop Gilgamesh relies on the ones in the break zone, or searching more Gilgameshes. And so, like, maximum, if you have the other Gilgameshes in break, you're going to have a 2-drop 6k, or 7, depending on whatever, right? Unless you run more of the 2-drop. Okay, so you get a maximum 8k, probably. Alba, when she attacks, if you can give her haste, she attacks and already gives herself 3k.
Yeah.
Or, she gives, she gains herself haste, depending, whatever. So, like, her ETB not going off is actually okay. That's one of the things I noticed earlier. I was like, well, that's stupid. Wait, it's when she attacks. So she can get just as beefy with way less work. And she gets to remove crap from the break zone.
Though she does have to wait the turn to attack.
Well, yeah, but unless you give her haste.
Yeah.
So, like, okay, that brings up a question. Can you give her haste? What summons do we have that give haste? I'm gonna say lightning summons, because duh. Let me that and search. Wow, really? It's only one summon that gives haste?
What is it?
It's the 3-drop modular Rama.
Oh yeah, no.
It's dumb. Stupid and dumb and stupid. Why aren't there more haste things? You need backups. Okay, get backups to give haste, damn it. I'm kidding.
Yeah, I think it's fine, honestly. Like,
yeah, this is pretty much fine.
Yeah, like I have a case for the Alba only because she really helps you push game late game.
Yeah. Like, so I would actually cut the Larsa in front row. Because you can just nuke it, basically, and then it's just like, okay, everything else is free range. Run Illawa, yeah, but then it doesn't get the Gilgamesh bring for free. You don't play it for free. I think I'd rather cut the Larsa and just put in the one of Kefka and call it a day.
Yeah.
Oh, whoops. Kefka's not a summon, nor is he a lightning. Just do that, I guess. Like, because I'm trying to think of what other 2-drops that I'd want to throw in here. Like, I'm not I'm not terribly enthusiastic about many of them. The more I look at the Kefka, I kind of see it. I kind of see it being fun. Warrior of Light 2-drop?
The fight. Well, wait, no. The one.
Is that the fire
That's an
one?
ETB, I think.
Yeah, it's
is the issue.
ETB. Oh no, well it's the 2-drop. Okay, so it's the Opus 1, not the starter deck one, from Opus 7. So, oh yeah, actually, okay, actually though,
Oh, yeah.
actually
yeah,
though, and the 3-drop
fire.
Noctis, you're right, that does actually give things haste. But that's when he forms a party and attacks.
The starter deck Warrior of Light really isn't bad.
Oh, it's not.
I
It's really
feel that was
useful
an
for
ETB.
this deck in particular. Both of the fire ones actually are. So yeah, the Noctis needs to party up though. So that's the only other problem if you kill the Noctis. Like, oh well, it can't party now. Yeah, I like the Warrior of Light because it's just like, okay, Golbez. Everything has haste. Let's go. Boom, 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 boom.
Oh, he only gives himself haste. He gives everything else 2k though, which is nice. Oh wait, no, that's his ETB.
Yeah, it's yeah. If you control 4 more, yeah, he gains haste. Okay, so you get the 1 smack, and you have the other 2-drop that if it deals damage to something, it of cost 4 or more, double it. So that's okay, I guess.
Yeah, the issue is you can't give it haste.
Yeah. So the Dotaluma's fine where it is. I don't know what I would replace or what I'd put in here to play the Warrior of Light if we throw that in. I guess how much do we care about the Porum?
I think Form's solid.
Form's
I feel
fine.
like the only thing that you would really kill, you'd probably have Dotaluma down to 1.
Yeah.
That's about it.
I'm not terribly enthusiastic about the Kunmi, the White Tiger.
Oh, that card's nuts.
I mean, it's cool. I'm not saying it's a bad card.
I will defend that only because if you have a big swingy Golbez turn, Kinmi just protects it.
Is there anything in here from Type 0, though, otherwise? To buff off of that. Doesn't look...
No.
Yeah, no. So the personal... The buff doesn't apply, like, at all.
Yeah.
Oh, it's character, though. Oh, wait. So you get the backups. Okay, no, it's character. Character. But then you can also do the protection. Okay, never mind. All right, we're good. I misread that it was forward. 2-drop Belias if you're looking for haste that bad, not color restricted the way Rama is, or Curl. Yeah. Well, no, so the Curl isn't color restricted. Neither is Electric Jellyfish. It's not for lightning. It's just any forward. It's any forward gets haste.
With Creel, for ETB, you have to pay the colors.
How the hell do you?
Oh wait,
There we go.
Creel.
No. Carl. Yeah, this is just you pay the price, put it on the field, and lightning isn't exactly a color you have not much of. Well, so Alba doesn't come in with haste because she doesn't get the ETB.
Yeah.
So yeah, keep that in mind, guys.
Oh no, that's always been my point. It's like, oh, are you talking to chat?
Yeah, talking to chat. So, because that's the thing. Like, Noctis can party attack, but yeah, no. So like, I'm okay with the 2-drop Belias. Again, if the haste was an issue, yeah, you'd do the Belias, either Belias really, or the Curl, or yeah. So like, the Rama being, lightning forward only gains haste. That's dumb. I would do Curl because you also get the buff in the first strike and Brave. And And then, yeah, I mean, I don't know if that's a big deal, though. You really don't care all that much because you don't care about stuff dying. Like, it's nice to hold for a turn if you need it. Um, but, like, RNA has first strike if you want to hold on to stuff. Don Corneo.
That was a fun tech back in Summoner's Cup, where if he sticks around for a turn, you don't mind milling yourself, so you just like steal stuff.
Right, that's fair. It's just it really you gotta really be sure you want to take something because that's a
It's
pretty big
also
investment.
it's also a big target, which is kind
Yeah,
of good for it. Because the thing is, you want your other 2 drops to stick around, and if Don Corneo sticks on the turn,
it's
sticks
a
around for
funny
a turn,
mind
then
game. I think it's
yeah.
a
Oh,
really funny
also
mind game.
if Golbez dies during the opponent's turn and you get Don Corneo, you get to use him as soon as your turn starts, which is another plus for Don Corneo. But I don't know. I feel like Don Corneo is just a little too much. I suppose. Like I don't
Well,
know.
well, that's the thing. So like, you're not afraid. Well, so here's the thing, right? So let's say so you have 30 forwards in my version right now.
Mhm.
14 backup, 6 summons. Um, imagine. Okay, so best case, worst case, some sort of case scenario. Your opponent kills Golbez on their turn. Stupid idiot. Um,
Yeah.
okay, Don Corneo. Next turn, tap, mill 15 RFG, or put mill in the break zone. Oops, I just milled 15 forwards. Like,
Well,
that's worst case scenario,
yeah, but that's
but
not
it's
even that
sort
bad
of
of a
possible.
scenario, really, because those are 15. Because the thing is, if you break Golbez, you're basically aiming for game. And if they broke Golbez during their turn and then passed, then you're like lining up for game right now. Because that means that you have Luso out, that means that you have Don Corneo and you get to steal something. That means
Yeah,
that you have Shadow Lord. Like you have all these things that not only exist and have their really good abilities, but they also can attack.
yeah.
So at that point you're pushing for game. So you don't mind milling 15.
Well, right, but the problem is he's so small.
Yeah, like it's
Like, he's weak. So that's a tech
even
option,
then
right?
e- yeah, but even then that's a card he's not going to contribute too much to killing the opponent outside of removing a blocker. So even if they kill it, you still have your big boys, you still have Shadow Lord, Dataluma, etc.
Yeah. Well, the other thing is if your
Um,
opponent plays something big and like huge, huge risk and sees that the Don Caneo is already on the field, then like that's just your opponent. That's your opponent losing, not you winning. Because your opponent
yeah,
basically
but
like handed you the win because they're like, "Well, here's a big thing." And you're like, "Cool, mill
mhm.
15, take it. I care."
But at the same time, like it's just ultimately it removes a blocker. I think is the most important thing
Oh
about
yeah,
Don
for
Corneo.
sure.
Even if you don't go for the, because he can kill Dull forward as well, right? I've looked at
Um,
Don Corneo in minutes.
let's see. Choose a forward, dull it. Choose one dull forward, break it. So you can't do both at the same time. But if
Yeah.
something on your opponent's side is dull, you can kill it for 7 and for mill 7.
Well,
Um,
the mill 2 and the mill 15 are really good because you're removing a blocker either way.
yeah,
You do the mill 15 if you know that they can untap it, or if you know like, hey, I definitely need to get rid of that.
yeah,
So I actually, yeah, you know what? Don Corneo is actually probably decent. Um,
yeah. I don't know.
I'll
I don't know
check
if
it out
I'd run it. Um, I'll put it in the tech options option.
because all I know about Don Corneo is that E-Man used to run it and then he stopped running it, and or at least I think he stopped running it. I haven't seen his recent Golbez builds, but yeah, I think it's worth a one of. And it's also just in case you draw into White Tiger, you have another ice target.
Yeah, I guess.
All right, I'm done. I'm done. But this is like the fifth time I've been done with this deck. Um, but I think it's finally like kind of good where I want it to be.
Yeah, I mean, I think everything we've talked about is, for the most part, like viable.
Yeah.
Um, yeah,
Also, Thomas brought up a good point where you can use Gilgamesh or Fanfrit to break Golbez during the opponent's turn anyway.
Well, yeah, no, that's true.
So you don't have to rely on the combat trick.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, the combat trick is a more preferable version,
Yeah,
but
because you get the trade. But at the same time,
exactly.
Fanfrick gets rid of one of their things too.
Yeah,
There's a lot of good options.
yeah. So okay, yep. I'm just gonna screw it. I just submit. Very few changes done.
Mm.
Go over yours, Ty. If what little
I think
changes
ours are
you've
going to
made.
be pretty similar.
So you kept Larsa.
Yeah, Lars is just for the larger. Lars is there to counter Barreleye and Velafor when you break Golbez, because if you're playing against Weewa, they can knock down your team really. And same with Mono Fire, because the thing is they either have the option of singling out everything and killing it, which is an option for them, or they can't really Ifrita you, because if you hit like I don't know Luso, let's say you play Luso, Shadow Lord, um, Dodaluma, and something else, like Ifrita doesn't do as much to you. It's a tech option for water, really. Or at least off the Golbez. One sec, going back to my build. Trying to think of what else. Keeping my Tigreal in, I put in the one Prish just to make it a little bit more consistent to search Gilgamesh. And if you, God forbid, lose both of your Shadow Lords, Prish is just another 9k in that case. But that's about it. I switched to Sarsible and Tyro like you did. I kept in Minfilla because I think she just kind of helps correct hands and be able to like get rid of the cards that you can't really play. Like drawing into a Luso always sucks. Like there's no denying it. So to be
Right.
able to Minfilla, to be able to pitch it and have Minfilla get you back like a class 10th Moogle or a Prish or a Creel or something that you can actually use.
Mm-hmm.
Gerbranth, I think is super handy. And the later in the game it goes, Minfilla is just better because you could just use her to fetch Golbez's back or Regis's back or Kefka back.
Yeah,
Like you have a
I
lot of
kept that for
options with
sure.
Manfilla.
Yeah.
Keeping the one Shintoto just because if you are in that nightmare scenario, if you are so
It's
behind,
the
that's
desperation
nice.
play, yeah.
Yeah. And then Tyro to search Golbez, Star Sibyl for Star Sibylness. Um, oh, I forgot Star Sibyl searches Aldo, which is super nice.
Yeah.
But no, I think largely like when Juan sent this to us, it was basically done.
Yeah, it's about as
Um,
maxed out as it can get for the time being. I
yeah,
mean, I'm sure there's options out there of like context and scenario plays that you could swap out, but like for the general purpose, I mean, the majority of the deck is where it should be. Reese brings
yeah,
up in chat if you want to play Golbez, Waff is still pretty good. And the
yeah.
only additions this set,
Off to the
unfortunately, is Quattro Queen and Princess Goblin. Princess Goblin being
yeah,
basically useless because it searches a light forward, not a dark.
yeah. And you do kind of want to run. Well, you don't have to run a dark. Like Kadaj is nice in this deck, but it's not 100% necessary.
Yeah, this deck kind of
Um,
all light and dark are just options.
you could even, if you want to be cheeky about it, you could cut the Kadaj and run 2-drop Onion Knight just for the haste.
I mean, yeah,
But
you could. I mean, that's something a lot of people used to do,
yeah, but that's far from necessary.
right?
And Kadaj just knocks down a blocker, which is nice.
Yeah, for sure. So, I mean,
But
Citra.
otherwise, I
Oh yeah,
think
Citra and replay. You can play Yeah, you could play other stuff. Yeah, like Shiva. Um, that's a thing. Or Bablas. Yeah, you could do
yeah,
that. You could play the baby summons.
yeah, it just really depends on what you really want to do. Like
Yeah.
it's Golbez is far from like a one-track deck, but at the same time, I think this is probably one of the better builds you could do for Golbez.
Mm-hmm.
If not the best build you could do for Golbez. Like I think there's a lot of fun, like weird variations you could do with Golbez. Golbez is just such a versatile card. And the more 2-drops we get, the better he gets.
Yeah.
Uh, I think right now this build is really committal, and I think that's kind of what you need right now is to be able to get that committal board and then just swing in for game.
Oh, Thomas says Ty is super quiet. Good. Good.
Good.
This is my show. Nobody needs to hear
Sorry,
this
them.
pleb, this loser, this guy who places higher than me in tournaments. Nobody needs to hear him. I'm the good guy here.
I'm gonna hear myself really quick. I'm turning on the stream audio. Oh, it probably helps if I played the stream too.
No, don't worry about it. No, I tuned you up a little bit, so you should be about even with me.
Okay, cool. Oh yeah, now I hear it.
Yeah, you're just under the red in OBS, so like,
Alright, cool.
yeah, I don't want to turn you up too much, or you're just gonna start clipping left and right.
Yeah, because my fiance's sleeping, so I'm just trying to be quiet. Let's see. Do you want to move on to the final deck?
Let's do it. All right, cool. So we solved purple being sus. Now let's work about it. Let's look at Fire Valifor.
Yes, which I think he hinted about this in the submission with it. Let me see if I could find the Fix-it-Friday submissions. You said it couldn't be done, but I've gone and done it. And I think we mentioned in one of when did we mention? We talked about this, right? Where we talked about the idea of a Fire Valifor deck. I think we did that.
The comment on it was you said it couldn't be done, but I did it. And I'll be real, I do not remember saying it can't be done, so
Because I know we've talked about this.
I genuinely do not remember.
Even outside of like episodes, we might have legitimately said this, where like the idea of a Fire Valifor deck. I know I have, because the second he submitted it, like for a second I thought he bugged our houses or something. Because I was like, I know I've talked about this.
Oh, so it was last Fix-it-Friday, according to... Okay, so Thomas alleges it was last Fix-it-Friday, which was like 3.5 months ago, so... You know, it was basically forever. Or it might have been hot takes. Okay, that's fair. It could have been hot takes.
But I do really like this. I don't have too many notes on it, honestly, but there's a couple things that I feel like can be edited.
Yeah.
So, already in it. So looking at the backup lineup, I think the backup lineup is largely great. You got Norse Talon, who can search Waltrill and Althea. Oh, and Kuchespel. Yeah, Norse Talon is incredibly versatile in this deck. Althea is fine, even as just a one of. The 3 Goblin Princess is good. The 2 Kuchespel is good. The 2 class. I feel like this is going to be another short like deck profile. Because
Yeah,
like the
for
backup
sure.
lineup immediately is like fantastic. Like it's great.
Oh yeah, this is goofy. The only one thing I'm really concerned about is Citra and Yuna. Because you can't have them both at the same time.
Yeah, but you're only running one. Yeah, you're only running one Citra, I guess.
Yeah. If you can pay for Barley doesn't lock fit well too. You know what, Reese? You know what? You know what?
Maybe.
I don't know what. You might be right.
We're running Falcor.
Refresh.
Yeah, that could potentially be an option. This is my personal experience. I don't know how other people have been dealing with Opus 11 Shadow, but he's not that great for me. Just whenever I play him, I feel like I'm not getting the full value.
Is this the... Yeah, this is this one. Don't you kind of want to have Interceptor to combo with that, or no?
It's not necessary.
Okay.
Shadow's fine by himself, but at the same time, I don't think... Like, his special isn't great. Like, forcing yourself to take a point of damage, you don't have a lot of ways you can do that in this deck. So they either have to swing under Shadow. It's a good anti-Ritz deck, though, of being able to just like, oh, I took a hit, I get to instantly kill Ritz.
So I'm looking at lock, as Reese suggested here. I'm considering it. It's a consider card.
It is. Like, the main reason I'm looking at Shadow is because I'm like looking at him like, okay, how do I get rid of him so I could put in the lock? I'd almost put Shadow down to 1. and then put in an additional Martian and lock. But I feel like there'd be something else I'd want to take out for lock. Because I don't think lock is a like pipe dream. I think it is actually a really solid card. The issue is you don't have. You can't bounce him because I feel like the big reason why lock is so good is being able to play him, bounce him with immune, and then play him again.
Swaps. So Reese suggests swapping Citra for Renoa. Which Renoa? Like,
Yeah, which
only
one?
tap one. Yeah, so it's just like you don't want a lot of ice out there. You don't want to have to play with a lot of ice.
Because he is running Class Second Moogle, which makes it a lot easier, but it's not. Because I could see doing it on, or throwing in the 4-dropper Noah to flicker something. Because then you can flicker Marsh to be able to get his ETB again. You can flicker Fina to get her ETB again. You do flicker targets. But my only issue with that is I'm speaking with experience, like you don't want to super rely on having a third color when you only have one way to play it.
Yeah.
Like if this deck was running Cosmos or Chaos, I'd be a bit more amicable to it. But preferably Cosmos because you're already running light. Like Class Second Moogle. I don't know. Because I played a mono fire build for a while that was able to use Class Second Moogle to play Laswell. And I was able to do that pretty consistently, so I don't want to knock running 3 Class Second Moogles and then running an ice card. I feel like it's better with Barrel Eye, where you already can pay for most of it. I don't know. I feel like I'm trying to be like semantic about it.
Yeah. So I actually.
It's not a terrible idea.
I actually I kind of want to swap one of these backup 2-drop Riku for a no-no. So every time something attacks, oops 3k, oops 3k, 3k, 3k. I mean, while you're at it, right? If
I
you
feel
got
like
the
that's
Barrel
relying.
Eye.
I think that's relying too much on Barrel Eye, though.
Well, no, well, that's the thing, right? Because you have other ways to do it. It's not just being like, well, I have to have the no-no, whatever. But like, if Barrel Eye's out, take advantage of it. But like the reactivating your backups is still awesome.
Yeah.
Still useful.
Yeah. No, it's also he has FFTA, which is nice.
Yeah. So like, it kind of plays with Marsh, which is awesome.
Because I'm half thinking about like, how good is Althea? Well, actually,
like Althea is nice as a one of. I like it. Because you can do that
really
with
Lock.
You can just replay lock and stuff. Yeah. Norse Talon is useful for searches. For Althea, for Waltrill.
Like that's why I don't want to fuck with the backup lineup too much because I think the backup lineup's like perfect.
Yeah, backups are fine. I'm gonna drop the Riku to 2 because you get the no-no. And then Shadow I would drop to 1 and add a Braskas. And like
I don't know how to feel about Braskas. Only because Braskas is a little bit slower now.
Daniel suggests in chat it's a different take on the deck, but if you want to run a Samurai package in the fire section, you can get Cyan's attack trigger. Problem is, though, you gotta scrap a lot to make that fit.
Yeah, because I do like a lot of the fire part of this deck. First of all, I'm going to look at Cyan really quick just to be sure.
Fire, Wind, Ice, Moogles featuring Barrel might be the next challenge for Juan.
Because, like, looking at... Yeah, I don't think the Samurai package would be super worth it. Though I do want to start looking at some Samurai decks. But I like the fire now. I feel like I don't know how to feel about Shadow. Like Shadow is the card that I'm like so iffy on. Because it's like, yeah, it's a decent card, but I don't know. Like you get the value off of it. I just don't feel like it's a big enough card. I'd also probably put Pain down to 2 because she can rely. Well, wait, no, never mind. Because Riku.
New Ash
I am
was
kind
suggested by Juan and co-signed by Reese.
Oh yeah, that's
Thomas says
interesting.
they cut Ash because of space. So I wouldn't be concerned about controlling 6 characters. So getting them unselectable, unchosen is cool. Downsides, you have no search. Casting 3 cards is a maybe, depending on when you're doing stuff, whatever.
It's possible in this deck, but it's kind of a swingy play where it's
3
you're
cast
gonna
counts itself, which is true. So you only have to cast 2 other things. But that, I mean, yeah, it does synergize with Lock.
but just to draw a card at the end of the turn. Like, because the thing is, Lock is a huge payoff for doing that. Because if you play 3, he costs 2. Like, that's insane, because you're getting 2 drop for a 9k.
Yep.
And like that's why I just feel a little off about it, because it's just it's solid. But the thing is, you're doing all of that for a draw at the end of turn, which, mind you, I'm not downplaying. Like, drawing at the end of turn is really good. But like once again, that's going to be for a lot of swingier turns. But yeah, it really isn't a bad idea.
It's also a lightning rod though. So like earlier on, if you you don't want to play this early. You want to play this mid to late game for sure. But the lack
Or
of
even
search
just early and let it sit.
is weird. Yeah, the lack of search is weird. Because without being able to just be like, okay, play it. Or like I have it now when I want it.
Because this already feels like a pretty tight deck, is the thing about it. Like this is definitely a tight deck. Like
it's really
there
tight.
really isn't too much wiggle room.
I actually
Shadow
almost
is like, oh sorry.
No, I was gonna say I also kind of want to swap 1 Pain for a Eunice Searcher. Almost.
Yeah, you could run
because like
you
this
could
Pain
swap the,
reactivates backup, so Barley. You get to draw a card if you have Yuna.
the other pane also enables you to search that unit to be able to turn on Valifor, which is nice. And it could
Exactly.
also search Riku if you want the reactivate for Barreleye. Wait, does
Yeah.
Barreleye just want a backup? Never mind. But still, like, yeah, the other
And
pane
it's an
can
EX.
be handy.
And they're both in EX, I think, right? No.
Yeah.
No, this one is.
Oh,
but, yeah, I think I would do a 2 and a 1. For the search.
Yeah, that's
your game plan is
not a
late
terrible
game,
idea.
so less search makes the control mirror better. Oh, you know what? That's also kind of fair. Yeah, so I guess okay. So with that logic in mind, that is a fair point.
Yeah, like like I said, this deck is like tight.
Really tight.
Because like I was just like I kind of want to cut the Unsaganashi, but at the same time it's there to protect.
No, I would not cut the Unsaganashi.
Like it protects way too much.
Oh yeah, that's a good point, Daniel. Actually, yeah, the Princess Goblin searches your Yuna.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you do already have a Yuna searcher.
Freaking duh. I hadn't stared at the backups enough. Good catch.
I was forgetting something too.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, I feel like all my changes are just incredibly minimum. I cut 2 shadows for 2 locks, and that's like it. You could probably even cut one of the locks and put in another marsh, just so you can get Marsh Ritz more consistently. But at the same time, you can also play Ritz, which is something that a lot of fire decks can't really afford.
mm-hmm.
So that's why I think it's even better just have lock. Like,
yeah, I agree with the shadow and swapping shadow for lock, especially if you're not going to run interceptor in the back row to give it the haste.
Yeah.
So, yeah, shadow's cool. But lock though, lock though.
Like, Thomas, like, how much have you messed around with this deck? Like, how much have you played it? Because it is really like, I want to see how this plays. Really, like, it seems like a good deck. And like, even if we don't have a lot to like edit about it, the thing is like,
It's thought-provoking.
It's still very thought provoking because I am thinking about some like kind of crazy things I do to the deck. Completely cut Shadow, run more FFTA to get Marsh more consistently.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe even put in Ash to be able to get the 3 per turn thing. I think if you really wanted to stretch it, you could actually run the Infinite in this deck of running 2 white mages, Miyun, and Riku. The only problem is you need to run Tilica, which you don't really have a proper way to splash.
That's the thing, is there's too many things that would work, and only 50 card slots.
Yeah.
Like, if this were Yu-Gi-Oh, where you could be like, oh, I want to do 40 or 60, I'd be like, cool, go to 60, do all this crap to make it consistent, and then...
Or even mess around with like 45, where you have a little wiggle room, because this is kind of a control deck.
Yeah.
Oh no, I was looking at a 3-drop Aerith, but...
Block also gives you a way to discard and create ice if you need to, which is, yeah, that's a good point. So...
Yeah, I think the only like issue with this deck, quote unquote, is that like a lock is just a good fit for it, and you just weren't running it. Like it's... I don't know, I do really like this deck. Like, I do actually want to like mess around with it.
Yeah,
because the idea of running the Summoner Yuna is really cool. Because even if she has a bit of a target on her back, she's still on curve. And, you know, she enables Valifor. She's a good target for Phoenix. And just being able to play like a Pandemonium off the top of your deck is super nice.
Yeah. Juan actually says if this was a commander / EDH / champions deck, this would be doable. That's not wrong, actually. That's a really funny point.
Actually, 1 second. Where's the Yuna? So I was gonna say, if you do want to make this into a champions deck, I'm trying to think of a card that would be the champion.
Dude, the champion could be the yeah, you could do Yuna. Or no, you couldn't do Yuna. You could do...
You do the 3-drop Yuna.
Yeah. You could do... Oh crap. You have to pick something to be the hero here.
Yeah, the only issue with this deck is that it would have to be Singleton at that point, and this deck operates...
You could still make that work, though.
You can.
With what is it, 60 cards, 70?
I think they just bumped it up to 70 or 80. I forget, because I know that there was a rules change for it.
Okay, well, because 80 is the deck for boss battle, for the boss.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to think of what they changed it to, because there was a really good interview about it. I think it was on... it wasn't on Level 1 Onion Knight. It might have been on Mogpod, maybe?
Probably would have been, yeah.
But anyway, yeah, this would be a fun deck for Fire Wind Summons would be a really fun, goofy deck for champions.
Yeah, I'd 100%. I'd rather build this for champions than a regular deck, honestly.
Yeah, because Riz pointed out, like, you know, how, because saying I will have it on hand when I play 3 cards, it's not always super consistent. But at the same time, Lock isn't a card that you need to play after you've played 3. Having him at 2 is nice, but having him at 4 is still really good too.
Yeah, I don't know. I honestly, I just want to click finish. Like, I don't
I do think that my... Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, I think the only real change that I can argue for is cutting 2 shadows for 2 locks. That's about it. The only other change potentially is cutting an Usaganashi for another Marsh.
Oh, Juan says if Chocobo Chick worked like Guido, this would be broken or disgusting.
Oh, wait, 1 sec. Chocobo Chick. Because if I remember correctly, Chocobo Chick is absolute garbage. That's the card that's borderline
Chocobo
worth it.
chick. Yeah, choose one fire backup active. Wait.
God, could you imagine? No, that's really bad.
It doesn't that work though?
It's not infinite because it's choose another fire backup.
No, it does. It says it says choose one fire backup. It's a fire backup.
No, you have to tap it for its effect because you have to pay one and tap it. Because the thing about Guido is you don't have to tap him to activate him. You just have to pay fire, or you just have to pay water. So you tap him to pay water, and then you untap him with his effect.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you need a second. You're right.
That would be goofy
yeah,
as hell, though.
My brain wasn't registering
so
the dull symbol for some reason. Yeah, you're right.
No joke. That would be.
That would be nasty.
If they literally just made that an errata,
yeah, no,
that would be. That wouldn't even break Chocobo Chick. Is the funny part about it?
No, it wouldn't. It would be a Guido situation where it's just like, okay, here's just another option, but like it's still trash.
The only application for it would be just to give Barreleye the infinite and fire, and that's it.
Unless they made other cards that did stuff off of backup activation, but
yeah. But
I think they're gonna tiptoe around that one. They're gonna walk on the eggshells around that.
Yeah, but the thing with Barreleye in this deck is you already have so many ways of reactivating.
You have a lot of ways of reactivating him.
Just the fact that Valifor is a 6K, just the fact that Pandemonium's a 5K or a 8K, 7K, and just the fact that Fina can hit a little bit harder to hit AK, like that's more than enough.
Yeah. But no, I'm ready to hit finish. Like this, I think this is about as good as it can get, right? The one Ash, 1 or 2 Lock, because Lock gets cheaper. So like the curve looks. No, it doesn't even look high. What the hell? Mine's 3.2, and it technically with Lock being cheaper, it'll be like 3 or 2.8.
Yeah, like I have to say, like it's.
So the thing is, the newest set made this more possible than what we were. Whatever we said before was before the set came out.
Yeah.
So like, the multicolor cards certainly helped. The Marsh Ritz combo being, I don't want to say discovered, but like brought more to the public is certainly helpful.
Oh, that reminds me, I do actually have one potential option of running run Donid.
Oh, yeah, Donid's actually a good one. That's solid. Actually, I would swap a Norse Talon for a Donid.
Yeah.
Search for search and stuff.
Because you get to target. If Marsh dies, you can target him. If Ritz dies, you can target her. If you just want to outright clear. And then you also still have the option to target Usaginashi. So yeah, I do the same thing. I just cut a Norse Talon for a Donid.
Yep, cool.
But that's like.
Evie. Want to join?
Like I feel.
Help? My kitty keeps bumping the microphone. She's on my desk.
It's a good deck, is what I'm trying to say. It's like the thing is like this deck, you really kind of gave it to us where it has this win con and it has this like very clear consciousness stream, and it feels optimized. Which like it's a compliment. Like it's very
this is
optimized,
very well thought out. I'm impressed, man.
To the point. Yeah, I actually really want to mess around with this, to be honest. And if we get, if I actually do the patron thing, I actually might steal this deck and mess around with it. Like it's fun. It looks good. Like I like the ideas behind it.
It gives me somewhere to put my locks.
Yeah. Honestly, everybody's been pulling locks, but we don't have a deck to put it in yet.
I mean, we do now.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, Daniel had a good point where he's just like Chocobo Chick is just this like, it'd be interesting. It's like this like dream scenario. It's a very big brain play, as he put it. But
no, Thomas, you're good at Fix-it-Fridays because you give us the
you're
options.
You're too good at Fix-it-Fridays.
Yeah, you're too good at it. Stop.
Like the only thing that you could give, like I don't know, because the thing is, I don't want to encourage people to just send us like 50 random cards and being like, make a deck out of this.
Yeah,
Like,
we can go to our own chat for that.
yeah, because the thing is, it's a very modern deck. Like, there's not too much that we can look into the past for it, especially in Fire. Like, that's kind of the issue with getting a Fire deck on here is we don't have that many options that we can look back to, because we don't have there's no random obscure Fire card that's really good. Like, Fire was largely pretty bad up until Opus 8, Opus 9.
Which I'm still editing the newest video about that, by the way. So
Yeah.
guys, keep an eye out in the next, I'd say 5 days or so.
Okay.
So once I so Golbez then.
I'm good at fixed it already Friday. Like that. Yeah, really.
You're not wrong.
You're really not wrong.
So yeah, I'm gonna click finish. I'm hitting submit.
Yeah, I need to change the title of it, but otherwise I'm basically done too.
Cool. Do we
I
want to
think we
go over
basically have the
yours, or is
same
yours
deck.
similar to mine enough that we can just be like whatever?
I think we have, no joke, I think we have the exact same build. Let me title it and look at it and tell me if it's the same. I'm 99% sure it is.
So Thomas says they peaked with Water Ice Mill. Sad.
Water
Sauce is
Ice
epic
Mill,
but
that was
bad,
a fun
says
deck to
Reese.
mess around with.
Okay, so Ty.
Yeah, that's the thing. There's
Yours
so many,
is
really
almost
interesting
identical to
cards in Fire.
mine.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
have
if
an
there's
Ash and I have Braskas both at one of.
Yeah.
Other than that, though, they're about identical.
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah.
Oh, you guys can't hear the purring, but Evie is sitting right next to the microphone. Hi.
Aw.
Hello, yes. You're a good kitty.
Also, really quick, my YouTube glitched, and so our stream is up, the chat is up, but it's the comments from another video,
Oh, that's weird.
and I scared the shit out of myself. It said 6,008 comments, and I was just like, "What?"
Whoa! Yeah, right?
Yeah, but yeah, this
Reese,
is gonna
unless
be the
somebody
last
else
deck of the
has
day.
something to throw in here. Yeah, this is our last one that was in the queue.
I'm tired. I hate to say it, but I gotta call it quits.
That's fair.
I had to wake up early today, which sadly,
I gotta wake up early tomorrow, so I probably shouldn't. But I'll stick around and shoot the shit with the chat if you guys want.
Yeah, I gotta bounce. But at the same time, we haven't done a Fix-it-Friday in a while. It might be worth it to do another one this month.
I wouldn't be opposed. Yeah, I mean, if we get submissions, if people want to share the idea around, right? If Reddit and Facebook and wherever else want to come together and throw stuff at us to work on, by all means.
Yeah, so Riss has a deck that we could check out. I still have a Broken Toaster that I really want to mess with. I mentioned it during the first deck profile where I want to have this. I want to do a new version of Wind Earth, to be kind of brawly using the new Yushtola and stuff, as well as the star of the deck being Opus 4 Shintoto, so I can put my foil somewhere.
Yep.
Eevee. But yeah, just it might be worth it maybe in a week or two to just revisit this, probably before Christmas. And then just do another one of these, because we just need more content on our channel, really.
I mean, yeah. Well, we have 2 videos in the pipes.
Yeah.
Right, and then we have this, and then we have another Fix-it-Friday. Should we decide to? I'm gonna propose. Crap. There's only so Christmas is on a Friday this year. I don't know the dates of the other religious holidays this coming season. I don't know what dates everything falls on. I'm thinking the 18th would be a better option, so just 2 weeks flat.
That wouldn't be a bad idea. Yeah.
That would be 2 days after I start my new job, but that would mean that I get home earlier than my current job. So I get home at 7-ish.
Yeah, as opposed to 8:30.
8:30, 8:45, yeah.
Depending on traffic, of course.
Well, I mean, okay, according to people I've talked to at that office, the Chicago people only deal with 45-minute commutes. So
yeah,
I'll take it. So
yeah, I definitely want to take a look at that knock list during the next one. Or I'm probably just going to be peeking at it in the meantime.
Yeah. So yeah, everybody who's watching, throw your deck submissions in the Discord or at our Facebook.
Yep.
Or if you're on Reddit and really don't want to leave Reddit, outside is a scary world, go ahead and send us a PM on Reddit.
Or just put it in the comments of this video. I'll take a peek at them. But
I mean, yeah, that's an option too.
The best way to send us your decks is through the Fix-it-Friday submissions.
In Discord, yep.
Yes, because even if we have too many, we can just kind of, we could just kind of stare at it. Like it's
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we try to
wanna-
preview these ahead of time too, so we get an idea of what we want to change, and then obviously we open it up to the forum of chat.
Yeah.
So but yeah, I say we plan on the 18th of this coming, this December, this current December. If that works for you, Ty, works for me.
Should.
Cool.
It definitely should.
Awesome. Well, in that case, yes. So throw your submissions at us, guys. Everything is welcome. Unless you just decide I'm gonna put 5 cards of every color in a deck and then fill in the rest with Yu-Gi-Oh cards or Digimon cards.
And we'll try to fix it anyway.
Yeah, we'll try to fix it anyway, but no promises it won't just become a Digimon deck. Who am I kidding? Nobody can find a product for that.
Game? Sorry. We'll see. Oh god, we could have an entire other stream about whether or not Digimon's going to take off. I'm generally optimistic about it, but at the same
Everyone's optimistic. That's the problem.
Yeah.
It's got no product, but everybody wants in.
This will not become a Digimon channel because I hate to say it, but I like the card game looks really interesting, but I'm just like I don't care.
I thought super hard about unboxing my box on stream and or on the channel, and I was like, I just want to open it right now so I can see what I get and trade if I get anything good, and I pulled crap, so it didn't matter. So yeah, I think Thomas is taking my joke as a challenge, so I think this is the moment to hop out, to get the stream off before we say anything else that's gonna dig us a grave.
I remember back in Opus 7, I pitched a 5-color good stuff deck, but we'll see.
All right,
but,
so
I'm ready to log off for the night.
Yeah, so one more time, throw decks at us in the comments on Discord, Facebook, or Reddit if you're afraid of leaving Reddit. And we will see you guys live stream on the 18th for another Fix It Friday. New episode or 2 coming in the next few days. Keep an eye out for at least one. We'll see about the second.
Yeah.
So thanks for joining us.
The usual YouTube jargon, like, subscribe. That's it. Just like and subscribe. You don't have to do anything else.
Yeah, don't you dare
ring the bell, I guess.
Do anything else. Don't you dare comment. Don't you dare donate to us on Ko-fi. Don't you dare befriend us and, compliment us and say that we have nice eyes and hair.
And join the Discord. How dare you?
Yeah.
Listen to me, mister. You will like and subscribe and you will go straight to bed. Oh god, I feel weird saying that now.
Alright. Well, it's bedtime for Ty.
Yeah, this is too much for me.
Night, everybody. Thanks for showing up.
Like 24 hours. See ya.